is your home for the Trojans. Girard Sports Live.
Snap and leans forward, and that's touchdown number 4 for Scott Moore.
Girard Sports Live is presented by Colgan, your community technology partner. Learn more at ckt.net.
Looks, throw over to Adolph, quickly down inside, wrap around Boatwood, found herself in the right place, foul, and the bucket!
He'll try a 3 and hits. Adolph with it up top, being guarded by Gass. Girard down the lane, off the glass, and good. Nice instinct by Adolph to just take it to the bucket.
Fielded on the short hop, fires this one across. Able to throw the runner out by a step and a half.
Pitch to the outside to Ashbacher. Gets a good block on the outside, and he's in for the touchdown.
It's time for the Trojans. On your home for Girard High School Athletics. Girard Sports Live. Girard Sports Live.
Oh, good afternoon, evening, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to Girard Sports Live, presented by Colgan, your community technology partner. Don't get bit by slow speeds and high prices. Get gigabit, the fastest internet in Southeast Kansas, with Colgan. To learn more, go to ruralfiber.org or see everything Colgan has to offer at ckt.net. I'm Drake Miller here, joined by Caleb Humble, as we get set for the final regular season game here on Girard Sports Live, as well as the last home game, or regular season home game. It is senior night here in Girard. Caleb, pretty excited for this one. It's a highly anticipated matchup between two rivals, the Colgan Panthers and the Girard Trojans.
Yep, and so Girard is one of the few teams left to play a game. A lot of games happened yesterday. A little bit strange for Monday games, but one of these last games here, one of the last CNC games, and so a big night to see if the Trojans can bounce back and get this win over Colgan after falling short in that first matchup, and so we'll see how things will match up in this one.
Well, we will roll right into our pregame show, which is brought to you by Community National Bank and Trust. Serving the area for over 30 years. Stop in soon to pick up your very own Girard Trojan Instant Issue Mascot Debit Card. Community National Bank and Trust is a proud supporter of Girard Schools. Equal housing lender. Member FDIC. Learn more online at mybankcnb.com. Caleb, last time these two met, Colgan did end up taking the victory in a pretty dominant fashion. It was arguably, I think, not even arguably, I think it was one of the worst scoring games that Girard had seen all season. And not only that, but tacking that onto right after the Burlington tournament, which was a little bit of a rough showing from them. Had a couple of injuries on the board after their last meeting as well. And now it seems like those injuries coming right back as Maddie Kester and Erica Boatman currently ruled out for tonight.
Yeah, and kind of like you're saying, just a rough game. That game ended in a score of 17-51, and so I think I was looking at some of the scores for these girls, and that was the worst scoring performance, probably by 20 points, so definitely just a very uncharacteristic performance from this girls team. But I think in this game, the biggest thing that you need to make sure that you're doing, and it seems redundant, but if you can just score the ball, that's how you're going to win this game. If you can keep up with this Colgan Panthers team, then you're going to give yourself a chance in the end to win this one. And so I think looking at that, I believe, it's such an eyesore in the schedule up till this point of just every other game this girls team has scored at least about 30 points. And so just about half of that with 17 is just crazy to look at. And so I think as long as you get the scoring up, and as long as you keep up with this Colgan Panther team, which we've seen that can score, you'll be just fine in this matchup.
Well, you talk about a team that can score. It was certainly a one-woman show, and that was Jacayla Davis last time these two met up. Jacayla Davis, I believe, went for 35-plus on that contest. I don't have the stat sheet pulled up, but I'm betting you can find it somewhere. She had a stellar game. Through the first half, there was only 4 points that were scored, or through the first quarter, only 4 points that were scored outside of Jacayla Davis, and that was Bella Escanio with a 2, and then Girard had a 2 for themselves, and I excuse me, but I can't remember who it was that had it, but I do remember that being just such an astounding statistic to see that we were talking about. So a very phenomenal performance from her, and you can pretty well expect the same thing tonight. She is a very dominant force for this team, one that's been able to carry them really far into the playoffs, and as well as through a lot of their regular season matchups as well. And so that's going to be key number one, is getting her to at least slow down, because realistically, even Urlacher talks about her, on the post-game coach interviews about how good she is, and she really is. She's probably top 5 players in the CNC right now, number 1 in the CNC, I would actually say. And this is nothing against anybody on the team of Girard, but she just getting her to slow down and score fewer points than what she did last time, keep her momentum from building up, is going to be key tonight for Girard.
Yeah, and looking at that last game, that last matchup, it was, at halftime, it was 4-25. And so just, if you can keep the scoring up there in the first half, I mean, you can really give yourself a chance in the second. But in the second, we did see that in both quarters of the third and fourth, the Trojans, they scored about half of the Panthers total. And so, and like you're saying, that leading scorer in that game was Jacayla Davis with 32. And so she had more than half the team's points. If you can limit her, you can give yourself a chance. And that's what I believe this Trojan team will be able to do if you have someone like Marley Sisney or Kennedy Keller guarding her and really making sure that, I don't know if you necessarily need to face guard her, but as long as you're getting in there and applying pressure almost at all times, like we've seen those two do, especially Marley Sisney, I think that's who I would probably match up. But Kennedy Keller has done a great job all season, also being able just to apply that pressure and really be a pest on the defensive side of things. So if you're able to have two of those juniors that we've seen step up before when the seniors are both missing, playing that role of you're playing that good defense and also stepping up in the scoring column, I think this will be a big game for either of them, and hopefully a big game and a big win for the Trojans team.
Well, and it's a tall order tonight, I'll tell you what, because right now, as we look at this roster, only 6 are fully eligible for all 4 quarters for Girard. I'll go ahead and list them off right now. That's Marley Sisney, Kennedy Keller, Carson O'Rand, Augie Mooneyham, and Briley Black in the starting lineup, and then Callie Trojana coming off the bench. When you have only one substitution that you can make all 4 quarters, that means those 5 ladies, or those 6 ladies, are going to be getting a lot of minutes. At least 4 of them are going to be clocking in 7 of the 8 minutes, So you look at that alone and you're thinking, man, you're talking about face guarding, manning up on a player for basically the entire duration of the game. It's a tall order, and I think you're right, Caleb. I don't think that's an improper analysis to say you need somebody on her at all times, because you really do. But it would be natural for Coach Urlacher to say, hey, maybe we do need to just drop into zone defense, try to see, if we can focus in on her and make sure we channel that defense towards her, force scoring out of other players, and then try to retaliate on offense. That might be the play, but, man, I'll be interested to see what he comes out with tonight, because it's going to be a very different situation than what we've seen prior.
And, I mean, for some of those bench players that we typically see on the bench, it looks like the 2 starting tonight will be Black and Mooneyham, but along with Trojana, those will be big 3 players that you're going to have to look at and see how well they can step up coming off the bench. And we've seen it before with injuries to this team, that the bench needs to take that next level step. And so if we can see how well these three play and really match up, that's going to be probably one of the more difference makers for this team, is that can your bench rise to the next level?
Yeah, and the Keys to the Game sponsor is Modern Remodeling. Tonight's Girard Booster Club game day sponsor. Modern Remodeling is committed to delivering professional and dependable roofing, siding, gutter, and exterior restoration services across Southeast Kansas. Inspections are always free with no obligation. Contact Brian Black today at 620-240-9334. Thanks again to Modern Remodeling, tonight's Booster Club game day sponsor. We'll step aside for the national anthem, and we'll be right back after this.
I pledge allegiance to the flag Our national anthem is performed this evening by the Girard High School Band under the direction of Mr. Willie Abatey.
And we are back on Girard Sports Live here for the starting lineups. Caleb, why don't you go ahead and kick it off with your Girard Trojans.
And for the home team, it looks like tonight we will start it off with number 2, a 5'6" freshman, Briley Black, followed by number 10, a 5'9" junior, Marley Sisney, number 12, a 5'9" junior, Kennedy Keller, number 22, a 5'6" junior, Carson Orand, and rounding it out will be number 24, a 5'6" junior, Augie Mooneyham.
And on the other side for the Colgan Panthers, starting off for them will be number 2, the freshman Mariella Gilmore, followed by number 21, the junior Danny Yagmore, number 23, the senior Jacayla Davis, number 32, the junior Bella Escanio, and number 33, the senior Janessa Davis. And that will be their starting squad. Bit of a interesting kind of somber night here as we talked about being senior night. You know, a lot of times you see these seniors getting to get their show off time, getting in the starting lineup if they weren't already, and obviously Kester and Boatman being in that starting lineup. But they're going to be right there beside the rest of this team here tonight, trying to root them on as best as they can to get the victory, to end the regular season, and to go into the postseason carrying some good momentum.
And I think if you can get this win, you're just continuing that win streak. I think we've talked about this team has a win streak of about 7 or 8 now. If I can go back and find it, looks like about 8 games. So continuing this one, you could get a win, but even I know we never won a loss, but taking a loss right before going into that tournament, you'd rather have one tonight than any other time the rest of the season.
100%. This is going to be your most competitive matchup, more than likely. This is the top team in the CNC right now, undefeated in district play. So, looking to have that on the shelf of accolades. Girard looking to pull off the upset tonight, and what an upset it would be if they were able to get this one done, missing 2 starters. And I mean, I keep talking about it, but that is the emphasis of tonight.
And we've talked about it where it's just, this game may not matter necessarily with the CNC standings, but if you can get a win, that's what really sends a message that you can beat teams like this Colgan Panthers squad.
Coach Urlacher talked about he's got a lot of pride. He wants to put on a show at home. He wants to get the win at home. So he is putting everything he can into this game to try and get the win. Keller nearly connects on the early 2. Scania with the rebound, and now down the floor for Jakayla Davis. Looks like it will be a 2-3 zone here for Colgan out the gate. Gilmore trying to work it around Oran, and Oran gets the strip on the floor. This one dished off, and Black picks it up, flicks it down to Kennedy Keller, past one defender, and almost gets the layup. Sisney with the putback, no dice. Keller is fouled, and will have a chance to break the seal of scoring from the foul stripe.
And it seems like we talk about it every single night, but those rebounds and second chance opportunities will be big in this game, along with those transition breaks and just being able to get easy points off the transition.
Turning the defense into the offense. And if you were Coach Urlacher, you would like to see maybe one of those second chance or transition opportunities go in, but Keller unable to answer from the foul stripe there, and now down the floor as Janessa Davis will take it across midcourt. Trying to work it to Jakayla, and this one's taken away. Kennedy Keller with another steal, and she has been all over the floor recently. Steal and a bucket. As now working into the corner, Janessa Davis, travel called, and another turnover. And I'm already seeing what Coach Urlacher's got cooking here defensively. If the ball is not in Jakayla Davis's hands, it is hound time.
And that's what that's what's been working. And so far, we had talked about how it's a zone offense, but there's a little bit of a man defense also been playing on Jakayla Davis. But great 2 from Riley Black, and an incredible find down low.
A very good find from Marley Sisney, and now double team up at midcourt. Have to work it to Yagmore, now Gilmore. Hers is turned over into the hands of Keller. That is 4 straight turnovers out of Colgan offensively. They have not been able to get a shot up yet. Keller tries it off the glass and gets it to go.
And so far, we are about 2 minutes into this quarter, and Girard has already scored more points than they scored all of that first half against Colgan in their first matchup.
Yeah, the first shot goes up from Colgan, and it was a floater from Davis. Did not go. Now Gilmore trying to work it down the floor. It's picked up by Mooneyham, who gets the takeaway. Now Oran trying to work it across. Gets it to Sisney, who works her way inside. Rebound to Scagno. They were trying to beat her down the floor, and now Jakayla Davis kicks out. Gilmore for the triple. Won't go. Rebound to Scagno. The putback is good. And now Coach Farabi is going to initiate the full court press, and we've got a foul called.
It's like that foul will be on Jakayla Davis. And so if you're the Trojans, you might almost want to try to foul bait just a little bit, almost if you can get that star player off the court as much as you can, because that was a big thing that we saw in the first meeting between these two, was that Davis didn't really leave the court for the entirety of the game.
Yeah, until that fourth quarter, and at that point, game was pretty well done and dusted. And out of bounds, they say it was last touched by Girard. So it will stay with Colgan. Davis was pretty well swallowed up there in the paint. Couldn't get really anything off. Now Ascanio, they'll work it out to Yagmore. Gilmore from the point is looking to pull the trigger. Yagmore works it down low. Ascanio versus Trojans, and that one's off the rim. Out of bounds on Colgan. It will go back to the Trojans. Trojans doing a great job defensively against Bella Ascanio, who right now the only scorer for Colgan so far.
And I definitely believe that Trojans will be a big impactor in this game, just being able to match up size-wise whenever you're missing your two seniors that were really able to get down low and play in the paint.
Work it to Oran for the three, splash! Carson Oran makes it rain from the far side wing. And now down the floor, Janessa Davis was looking inside. And man, this Girard defense moving well right now, adjusting. And Oran gets another steal over to Trojans. Sisney now give it back to Oran, and she will set up the offense from the top. Trying to get her players to move, her teammates. Keller to Trojans at the block. Sisney out to Oran, this one's tipped. Keller does not need to save it, but I don't think she knew that.
No, and I mean, even though that possession was a little bit of a dud for the Trojans, 9 points already is double the amount of points that they scored in the entire first half against this team. So just an incredible job tonight of getting the scoring going and getting it going early.
Well, not to mention the defensive side is really what's putting the impression on me right now. 2 points and over half of the quarter gone. 4:30 into this quarter. 3:30 to go. Gilmore, her pass out to Janessa Davis, received. Over to Jakayla. Davis works it right inside of the top of the key. This one's hard off the back iron. Now the scuffle on the floor as it is a jump ball. Staying with Colgan. Rebounds kind of still leaning in the favor of the Panthers. But Girard doing a great job not giving up any quick, easy looks at the basket and also getting the turnovers. That has been the big help.
And this team will miss a couple of those rebounding opportunities without the factor of Erica Bowman being there down low, getting those chances, but still, like you're saying, doing a great job on the defensive side of things to send it back to the offense.
So another jump ball forces it into Girard possession. Full court press persists here as Oran looks to inbound. We'll get it into Keller. Keller now working against Janessa Davis. One shoe now as Oran gets it across midcourt. Now trying to dive the paint. This one is out of bounds, headed back to the Panthers.
Subbing in for the Panthers, number 21, Danny Yagmore.
We'll take a slight pause here as Keller gets her shoe back on. He's having to work the offense with only one kick.
You don't see that too often, of just continuing on while the shoe's still on the other side of the court.
And now she will.
Looks like they might tape up her shoe to make sure it stays on.
Oh, did it break?
I don't know. Typically, you only really see that in football with cleats. Whenever your cleats, you want to make sure that they don't get stepped on or anything, and make sure that they stay apart. But
trying to see if I can get a visual. But with that, we will step aside and take a break. We'll be right back after this.
You've enjoyed life. Over the years, your community has become your passion, something you hope future generations get to experience, just as you have. That's why the Girard Area Community Foundation has worked hard to help fulfill charitable goals and inspire generosity, meeting the needs of the communities they serve. Creating a legacy fund with GACF ensures what you leave behind is an effective and lasting improvement in the community you love so dearly. Make plans to visit GirardAreaFoundation.com, preserving traditions for those who follow.
Here at Pittsburgh Interiors, we are proud to be family owned and operated, serving our community with quality style and service since 1999. Step into our showroom and explore furniture, flooring, window treatments, mattresses, and more. Whether you're designing a dream home, office, or simply just adding that finishing touch, our expert team is here to help. Discover why families and businesses have trusted us for over 25 years. Pittsburgh Interiors, where style meets comfort and family comes first.
And we're back. It looks like a timeout was taken as Keller had to get that left elbow wrapped up. That was something that I believe happened last time we were here at home in Girard. That was against Riverton. And now Yagmore works it over to Davis. Davis to Davis. Janessa working it to the point. Jakayla now trying to find the elevator screen. Back over to Yagmore. Jakayla receives the pass, finds Ascanio down low. Back out, Jakayla Davis for the three, rattles off the rim, no good, and foul called.
That'll be on 41.
And she's in disbelief. I think
thought
everybody
it was going the other way. It did look like an over the back, but
yeah, she was standing straight up. That's a little bit unbelievable to me, just by the fact that she was standing straight up and down in front of Ascanio. You know, I'm not necessarily saying Ascanio fouled her either, but I certainly don't think that was a foul against Trojans. I want to speak it how I see it, you know.
just something that you weren't expecting. It does look like the Colgan Panthers will now play a four-court press.
Continuing that pressure as Black receives it down floor. Now trying to wheel her way around the paint, out to Sisney. Hand off back to Black as she takes it up to the point. O'Rand. Keller over to Sisney. Sisney out to O'Rand for the three. Can't get it to go. Rebound Yagmore. And foul called.
That'll be Briley Black's first foul. Looks like we have a substitution. That'll be Augie Mooneyham will come in for Marley Sisney.
So Mooneyham comes back in. Janessa Davis takes it down the floor over to Jakayla. Now cross court to Gilmore. Gilmore's pass tipped, almost picked up by Black, and we got a foul called.
Looks like that foul will be on Briley Black, and that will be her second.
And another foul on Black. That one just...
Two quick fouls.
Unfortunate positioning for her, as Trezona did get the rebound and on the kick out, taken away by Davis. And O'Rand will travel right across midcourt. So a couple of calls here right in a row, forcing the ball into the hands of the Panthers, and Girard's got to recollect themselves quickly. Don't want to lose control of this lead going into the end of the first.
And I mean, Girard had such momentum going up until this point where Colgan's starting to crawl into it, but I mean, Trojans still doing a great job on the defensive side of things. Just the Panthers are now getting that scoring going.
And another foul. This time Trezona will get her second. And this is something that we didn't really cover in the pregame, but fouls being a huge factor with that limited roster size.
I mean, now that's the 4th foul, and all 4 fouls only on 2 people. And those are your 2 people that you would technically say are more of those post players.
Blocked by Trojans as she steps up and makes a play right after. Still a 3-point game. Girard has been silent since that 3:30 mark. Yagmore gets it into Jacayla. Up to Gilmore. And now inside. Yagmore trying to work the post. Blocked by Trojans again. Loose ball on the floor. This one goes out of bounds and is headed to stay with the Trojans. Initial signal was going to the Panthers, and this arena was about to erupt.
To explode. I was.
Hand off to Mooneyham. Bit of a loose ball, and now back to the other side of midcourt. I think they just need to take a deep breath, settle in here. Been a couple of just moments where obviously not agreeing with calls and not getting things to go their way. It's important for this team to just start to cool down a little bit.
And that's why you're hoping that maybe at the end of the quarter, that's where you'll have that little break and then you'll get things back in line.
Escanio steps back, gets the 2. She's got all of the points basically so far, other than Jacayla Davis's 2. Mooneyham now looks to drive. The pass over to Trojans off the mark and out of bounds at 19 seconds. Davis down the floor. It's Janessa this time. Gilmore gives off to Jacayla. Now Jacayla will drive in, and a foul called. This time Augie Mooneyham. And that will be free throws. So Davis shooting 2 here. First one good, ties it up at 9 apiece. Now for the second, it falls as well. 10 seconds to go here. As down the floor with Orand. Kick over to Sisney, who drives. Reverse layup is in! Lead back to Girard.
And that is how you end the quarter.
And that is exactly what the Trojans needed to go into the end of the first. We head into the second. Scores 11-10. We'll be right back after this on Girard Sports Live.
Farmers Bank is a proud supporter of Girard schools. For generations, Farmers Bank has worked with local leaders, businesses, and residents to help shape the future of Southeast Kansas. Farmers Bank is proud to have helped with the growth and development of the communities we serve. As partners in business and friends in life, Farmers Bank is looking forward to a brighter tomorrow. Farmers Bank, with locations in Hepler, Walnut, St. Paul, and Girard. Equal housing lender, member FDIC.
At Fort Scott Community College, we understand that a scary part of figuring out your future isn't only answering the question, what should I do, but where do I belong? Maybe you belong here, studying animal science or learning about farm and ranch management. Maybe you belong here as part of Helms Hoops on the hardwood. I don't know where you've been or where you're headed, but I know we're saving a spot for you because you belong at Fort Scott Community College.
And we're back on Girard Sports Live. Colgan to start with the ball here. Jacayla Davis working this close side wing, now driving to the base. Guarded closely by Sisney, kicks it around. Gilmore for the 3. Can't get it. Well, this one goes out of bounds as Yagmore was on the attempted save.
Stepping in for the Lady Trojans, number 12,
Looks like into the game will be Kennedy Keller and Augie Mooneyham will take a breather.
A quick substitution here as Macy Munkin actually was starting off here in this second quarter, giving a bit of a breather to both Mooneyham and Black. And now a loose ball here. Janessa Davis blocked by Sisney, and a charge called as well.
What a defensive possession. You either get a charge or you get a block.
Incredible play from both Oran and Sisney. Oran drawing the foul, and Sisney was making sure there was no chance of that ball getting over the rim. And bit of a messy pass there from Keller. Munkin fouls Gilmore on the way down the floor. I think Keller was trying to avoid getting that ball swatted away. Just made it a little bit awkward for Munkin up top.
I mean, we've seen that about 2 or 3 times now, pretty much in a row. The Trojans get a cross half court and then they're able to just really turn it over right there. So if the Trojans can get their offense going, that's what we've seen was so successful early in the first.
Yeah, limiting turnovers as well as forcing them out of Colgan has been to their benefit. So gotta play the turnover game here if you're Girard. Sisney hands off Keller. And a trip up there. Man, things just going very awry here outside the arc. And now a foul called as Janessa Davis will collect her second.
Foul number 33, Janessa Davis, her second, team second. Subbing in for the Lady Panthers, number 25, Drew Dayton.
So Dayton checks back in here with 7 minutes to go in the second. It's been a very long minute to start off this quarter. Kick out, Sisney fakes the three, drives inside, puts up a 2 and won't go. Rebound Gilmore as she trots down the floor. Now the pass over. Jacayla Davis was looking to drive, now back out into the corner for 3. Won't go, rebound Oran as she was trying to get it to Munkin down the floor. Jacayla Davis now perched up at the point. Setting up the offense, 25 on the shot clock. Over to Gilmore, guarded closely by Munkin. Jacayla Davis gives it to Yagmore for the 3. Can't get it to rebound Sisney. Sisney will now take it down the floor. Give it off to Oran and over to Keller. Munkin now on the close wing. Keller looking for a driving lane. Sisney, long 3. Can't get it to go. Rebound is collected by Yagmore, and now they will bolt down the floor. Jacayla Davis goes for the layup. Can't go, and a foul called after the rebound from Sisney.
Looks like that foul will be on Davis. I believe that is her second. So both Davis sisters with 2 apiece. And that can definitely make an impact on this game if they decide to keep her in.
And now Janessa checks back in here. Checking in for not Dayton, but instead Yagmore, and Munkin makes a big 2 down there in the paint. Brings the lead to 3, and now Drew Dayton will be headed to the line to shoot 2. Not a bad foul there. This time it was Carson Oran. Oran gets her first. Only the second team foul for Girard as well. As Dayton will be shooting 2. 5:30 to go here in the second. First one, banks in. Second one to make it a 1-point game. Off the back iron, no dice, and this one collected by Janessa Davis. Back out to Jacayla. Gilmore tries to light it up from 3, and she does. So that is back to a Colgan lead here with just over 5 to go in the first half. Orand searching for a pass, gives off to Keller. Foul called, and this time Janessa Davis will get her third. So Yagmore checks right back in, getting a very abbreviated time on the bench, with Trojans coming back in as well for Macy Munkin. Orand on the inbound, gets it into Trojans. Out to Mooneyham for the three. Can't get it to go. Rebound is a jump ball on the floor. Dayton, Keller, Sisney, and Ascanio all trying for that one. So stays with Girard here on the left side. Mooneyham, pass over to Orand. Great catch by Orand. Trojans at the elbow, kicks out. Orand trying to set back up the offense as things are just a little loosey-goosey from the perimeter. 8 seconds. Trojans kicks out Sisney. Back around, Keller with a short range two, won't go. Kicks out, Orand for the three. No dice. Sisney, third opportunity, and connects. Now Colgan working their side on offense. Yagmore over to Gilmore. Now Dayton finds it at the stripe. Out to Jakayla Davis. Gilmore from the same spot as earlier, and she takes it to Splashdown. Orand finds the back door with Mooneyham. Mooneyham loses the ball, and jump ball called. Just a little bit of sloppiness on offense from Girard right now. A lot of loose balls, just not being able to receive the passes. Wonder if there's a little bit of nerves, you know, being that this is the last game in the regular season, maybe wanting to beat a big rival opponent. What do you think, Caleb?
And I mean, like you're saying, this is the last game, and every time you see that Colgan blue, you want to beat them. And that's the big thing for the Trojan team, is that this is going to be a big game, and if you can get the win, that's going to make it feel that much better.
Well, Colgan does extend on the separation there with an Ascanio 2, 19-15. We will take a break. We'll be right back after this on Girard Sports Live.
From the phone call to the service call, Roto-Rooter is there with fast and reliable sewer and drain service. From repair and replacement to septic and grease trap pumping, Roto-Rooter is here for you. With video inspections, Roto-Rooter can identify the exact issue to get the repair done quickly and correctly. Complete sewer line repairs or replacements, Roto-Rooter has you covered. Serving Crawford, Bourbon, and Cherokee counties, Roto-Rooter, 620-231-5630.
At Girard Medical Center, our physical and occupational therapy department is dedicated to helping you bounce back stronger. Whether you're recovering from an injury, surgery, or just want to move better every day. From student athletes to seniors, we provide personalized care and expert support right here at home. To learn more about our therapy department and our other services, visit GirardMedicalCenter.com, a proud supporter of the Girard Trojans and your hometown team for health and healing. Rooted in rural, focused on you.
And we're back. Caleb, I asked you during the break about what was going on the floor, because it seems like both teams just kind of struggling to hang on to the ball. And you said that you believe it is a new ball, as you saw earlier in this game. A couple of staff members messing around with it, correct?
Yeah, and that's what I would assume, unless it's not a new ball, and then we might look a little goofy, but that's what I would assume possibly this issue is coming from. It's just that it's a new ball and it doesn't have that grip that you typically have whenever you're playing.
It's not quite broken in. as Yagmore gives it off to Gilmore. Now working it up top with 3 to go here in the half. Trojans unable to square up with Ascanio. As Ascanio right now the leading scorer for this Colgan team. The underneath has been to the benefit of the Panthers as Black tries to drive. Kick back out. Trojans out to Oran for 3. Can't connect. Rebound is into the hands of Ascanio. Loose ball goes out of bounds on Jacayla Davis. Will be back to the Trojans. As the inbound goes to Oran, she tries to keep it alive, keeping it on this half of the floor. Great awareness from the junior. As Keller now cross court. Oran finds Sisney for the 3.
That's
yes! Good. Cuts the deficit in half. Sisney once again being a huge step-up player in a big game like this for the Trojans. Gilmore over as Davis finds it at the point. Loose ball out of bounds, will stay with the Panthers. A great block from Keller right there at the foul stripe. She came flying across and got like all of her forearm on it too.
Just a big block to get that defensive possession done with, and now playing another one.
Gilmore over to Osborne for the 3, and she connects. Kara Osborne. As Keller pops up a 3 herself, can't get it to go. Davis with the rebound, now down the floor. Gilmore working it at the logo. Here's Jacayla Davis with 70 seconds to go here in the first half. Yagmore. Davis. Osborne finds Ascanio, and Ascanio gets the bucket to fall.
And that might just be the key factor to this game, is if you can stop Ascanio down low, that's how you'll beat this Colgan team and stop them from scoring.
Riley Black trying to light it up from range. Rebound Oran, now Keller trying to work her way inside. Gives it off, Trojans is fouled and will be headed to the line. Who does this go against? That's Jacayla Davis.
So now both Davis sisters with 3 apiece. And that'll be interesting to see what they decide to do with her not really missing any playing time in most of these games.
So 3 fouls for Jacayla Davis.
Looks like 24, Augie Mooneyham will check back in, and Briley Black will get some water.
This one off the back iron won't go. Trojans unable to connect on either free throw. 20 seconds. Inside to Gilmore. Keeping it on the perimeter. Osborne hands off. Here's Davis. Over to Osborne. 8 seconds. Davis trying to find an open shooting lane, guarded closely. Osborne has to chuck one up, and it won't go. No shot there. Great defense from the Trojans there on that finishing possession. 26-18 is the score. Girard has 8 points to make up here in the second half. As we step aside, we will be right back for the halftime show presented by GN Bank.
Since 1918, GN Bank has been the heart of our community. Big enough to meet all your banking needs, but small enough to offer that personal touch you deserve. From agricultural loans to home mortgages, GN Bank has the expertise, products, and service to help you thrive. With a pledge to treat others ethically, be adaptable, focus on customers, and invest in the communities they serve, GN Bank is committed to your success. The best place to bank and borrow, GN Bank, where community banking truly comes first. Equal housing lender, member FDIC.
Welcome to Homestead of Girard, assisted and independent living right here in our hometown. At Homestead, seniors enjoy compassionate care in a community designed for comfort. Licensed professionals provide support with daily activities, dressing, bathing, and medication management. Residents enjoy home-cooked meals and the comfort of their own private apartment. Call 620-724-6760 to schedule your tour today. Homestead of Girard, senior living with compassion, comfort, and community.
At Fort Scott Community College, we understand that a scary part of figuring out your future isn't only answering the question, what should I do, but where do I belong? Maybe you belong here as part of Fort Scott Community College's John Deere Tech program. Maybe you belong here as part of the perennial playoff-bound Greyhound baseball team. I don't know where you've been or where you're headed, but I know we're saving a spot for you because you belong at Fort Scott Community College.
More than just your neighborhood pharmacy, Mathis Drug is your hometown partner in health. With pharmacist Bria Scheibe and an experienced, highly trained staff, Mathis Drug is ready to serve you. And now, Mathis Drug offers comprehensive compounding, which is one of the few pharmacies in Southeast Kansas with this convenient on-site service. From medications to expert advice, call 620-261-9779. Mathis Drug Store, where community and care come together.
I was hoping to talk to someone about updating my insurance policy.
I am able to understand complete sentences.
That was a complete sentence?
I didn't understand that.
Or can I just talk to a person?
No one talks to humans anymore.
Sometimes humans are just more helpful.
I hear you. Why don't we review your coverage with a super check?
Farm Bureau Financial Services. It's your future. Let's protect it.
Call Judd, Lori, Jenny, or Amber in Girard today.
Call's service is outstanding in their field, especially for those that are stuck, outstanding in their field. Call's carries a wide selection of farm, industrial, and heavy-duty tires, all from the best brands in the business. And they've got farm service trucks ready to go. Plus, Call's continues to be the place folks go for car and truck tires, repairs, oil changes, and so much more. If you're in the market for new tires in Southeast Kansas, make the right call to Call's Service, 620-724-4121. See more at callservicellc.com.
And we are back on Girard Sports Live for the halftime show presented by GN Bank. Excuse me. They've been providing customers with the highest quality financial services in a friendly and personal way for over 100 years. Personal, business, or agricultural needs, turn to GN Bank. Learn more at gn-bank.com. And as we take a look back at the first half, Kenara Eye Care is here to make sure you can see what you're looking at. Kenara Eye Care, with locations in Pittsburgh and Girard, is here to help their valued customers. Learn more at kenaraeyecare.com. Caleb, an 8-point lead right now for Colgan, a much more manageable game. And with the two missing, we were talking in the break about what difference would it have made had Kester and Boatman been playing. But right now, even without them, this team putting up a valiant effort here at home.
And I mean, like you're saying, Maddie and Erica just have such great rebounding ability and just great post work. And so I think if either of them were playing, just the rebounding battle would be definitely a little bit more in the favor of Girard. But I think going into the second half, the biggest thing is that if you can get some opportunities out of those bench players that we normally see of Drazona and Black and Mooneyham, if they can really, you don't want to say step up because all three of them we've seen have great moments in this game so far already, but if you can see more from the bench players, that will kind of relieve a little bit of that pressure from those starters that we've seen score, like Sisney, Keller, and Arand. That's whenever this game will really open up on the offensive side of things for the Trojans more than it already has.
Yeah, I mean, this Colgan team really started to light a fire late in the first half from perimeter. You had Gilmore with 2 threes, Osborne with a 3. That was, I mean, that's the separation right now, is just knocking those down. Orant's had a couple opportunities from distance, as well as Mooneyham and Sisney have taken some shots. Just unable to connect there for Girard. But now, as we start into this second half, I think, like you said, working that post, it has been a big deal breaker for this Girard team. If they can learn what Escanio's doing and figure out, how are we going to play defense on her, I think mostly for Trojana is putting herself in between Escanio and the basket pretty much at all times, especially if Trojana's in, because size-wise, Trojana matches up a lot better than most of these girls on the floor for Girard. Not to say that they're less capable or whatnot, but just purely size-wise, Trojana's got the height advantage that some of those ladies don't. So I'd like to see her just put herself in between Escanio and the basket, try to cut her off from given any easy two opportunities, as she was really putting together a good series there at the end of the half. And then as well as on the outside perimeter, it's been really good. I mean, Jacayla Davis, we talked about it, has shot 7 or 8 times right now, and it's only totaling 4 points, which is a phenomenal performance defensively from Girard. And that is showing in the score alone at the deficit that Colgan is at from their average. Only 26 points is certainly a bit low for Colgan, 18 low for Girard as well. So both of these teams kind of underperforming offensively, but that means that there's opportunity. So if you continue to play the defense that you've been playing for Girard and then step up offensively, things can really start to shift in your direction and shift very quickly as well.
And like you're saying, I think if the Trojans can kind of have a run like how they had to open this game up, where they had, was it 7 or 8 points before Colgan was able to score, if you can have another performance like that, you're right back in it, and the score's going to be close to tied going in to the rest of this game.
Well, as we see these two teams warm up, I think what you say is true, Caleb. We see these ladies, just get something going there in the first quarter. Maybe after a little bit of rest, they've got a little more life to them. I'm hoping to see an electric start to this second half. We'll go ahead and send it to another break, as those halftime stats were brought to you by B&B Excavating. The numbers don't lie, dirt is heavy, so trust the guys at B&B Excavating to move what needs moving. Specializing in septic systems, water line install and repair, driveways, rock hauling, and leveling. B&B Excavating. Call 620-724-2735. We'll be right back after this.
Hold on. It's monstrous.
With Colgan's multi-gig internet, you can experience monstrous speeds for every device in your home or business at the same time for a low, no-nonsense price.
Selling equipment can be a hassle, whether you're needing to replace an old tractor or you're finally getting to retire. The time and energy needed to clean, prep, promote, and sell seems daunting. That's why you need Tyler Jackman and Big Iron Auctions. From one piece to the whole farm, Big Iron Auctions can deliver your items to more than 750,000 registered bidders. Call Tyler Jackman at 620-404-8115 or learn more at BigIronAuctions.com.
Something out of nothing. The Trojans all over him. It's going to be a big loss.
The Trojan sack means $2 short stacks at Eastside Cafe. Kick off your day with a hearty breakfast or take that midday break at Eastside Cafe. And this fall, when the Trojans get a sack, you get $2 short stacks the following day. Dine in only.
And we're back here on Girard Sports Live. Third quarter underway. As this one Brought across by Mooneyham. Loose ball. Oran picks it up. Loses it again, and now Sisney works it inside. Mooneyham working the post. Puts up a shot. Won't go, and now rebounded by Ascanio. Down the floor. Davis to Davis. Jacayla setting up from the point. Now Gilmore. Over to Yagmore. Gilmore again. Finds Jacayla Davis underneath, and Ascanio with a clean bucket. Brings it up to a 10-point lead.
That's one of the things that we had talked about, that if you're able just to get a body between Ascanio and the basket, that's where you're going to be able to possibly get some of those defensive stops, because a lot of her points coming tonight, just her getting inside near the rim and getting an easy layup.
Oran wheels it around the perimeter. Keller over to Mooneyham. Mooneyham finds Keller, pops up a three, won't go. Sisney with the rebound, tries for two, won't go either. This one collected by Jacayla Davis. Now over to Yagmore down the floor. Davis to Davis. Not as aggressive of a style of defense that we're seeing out of the Trojans here to start the third. And this one poked out by Oran. And this one collected, but going back the other way. Oran had the takeaway.
That foul will go on Kennedy Keller, her first. So none of the Trojans necessarily in foul trouble, but everyone that's checked in the game except for Sisney has gotten on the foul column.
Out of bounds off the miss. Still a 10-point game as Girard looks to score here. Need one badly as Mooneyham goes for two, can't get it. Janessa Davis now down the floor, gives it off to Jacayla. Tries to set up, Ascanio kicks out, Gilmore for the three. Can't get it, rebound Keller, or no, Ascanio, and Davis puts up a three, that won't go either. Looks like that one may have been a little bit of a missed whistle as Keller was trying to reel it in, and Ascanio came right across. Keller now backing up her opponent. Sisney steps into the paint and gets the two to go. Now down the floor, trying to set up the defense, which I think is key here for Girard. Like to see them be able to really set up as they work it into Ascanio. This one poked out, dribbled by Ascanio on the out-of-bounds line. And that will be another turnover. That's what you're looking for.
And it looks like into the game will be a double substitution of Munkin and Trezona. The Lady Trojans taking a seat will be Mooneyham and Black. But going back to what you're saying, if you're able to get the ball poked away or get a stop down low, that's how you're going to be able to really win on the defensive side of things.
Davis working the outside. Hands off Yagmore. Played closely by Munkin. And Yagmore now finds herself, but doesn't take the three. Had a good look. Davis puts one up and drains it. (31-20). Inside pass as Trezona goes up and in for two. A great answer from Kelly Trezona. Janessa out to Ascanio. Janessa Davis over to Jacayla. Now finds Gilmore at the foul stripe. This one stripped away as Keller collects it, and a timeout called by Coach Urlacher as Keller is a bit slow to get up. Maybe landed a little awkward on the elbow. Trying to shake it off there. We'll take a moment as this break in the action is brought to you by Salon 214. now open at 107 North Ozark in Girard. Take a timeout to pamper yourself with Vanessa and her team at Salon 214. And take a timeout to check out Salon 214 on Facebook as well. 9-point game here, 3:49 remaining in the third.
And I think going into the rest of the game, the biggest thing is that if you're on the defensive side of things, you can't let the ball get down low, because so far, once it gets down low, that's whenever trouble ensues. On the offensive side of things, if you can get your offense set up and get open shots, that's whenever you're able to really get things going.
Inbound gets to Trojans, who dishes it to Munkin. Now fast breaking down the floor as this one is collected by Gilmore. Davis puts up a 2. That won't go. Rebound Trojans. Great defense on the break by both teams.
I believe that was a block from Kennedy Keller.
Oh, I didn't even notice. But now a bit of a tangle up there as Orand and Yagmore both hit the deck. Yagmore will be called for the foul, her second. Only one foul per team here in quarter number 3. Drew Dayton checks in for Danny Yagmore. Inbound goes to Trojans, kicked back out to Orand. Now around, Sisney. Back out to Keller for the mid-range 2, and it falls. Keller with 6 now on the game, as a timeout is called by Coach Farabi. And she is gonna give a quick talk to her players, as this break in the action is brought to you by the Southeast Kansas Player Health Alliance and Live Well Crawford County, reminding you to know your limits when gambling and know when the game is playing you. If you or someone you know has a gambling problem, call 1-800-GAMBLER or 1-800-426-2537 for free assistance. Yagmore will hit the scores table and check in, or at least look to check in. Doesn't look like she will be allowed back in, as maybe she checked in a little late or is just waiting. Gilmore works it to Janessa, now Jakayla Davis. Back across. Gilmore takes the long 2, and it rattles off the rim and out. Out of bounds on Drew Dayton for the Panthers, and back into Girard possession as Escanio will check out for a moment. And this is the time, I believe, if you're Girard, you're wanting to attack the paint with Escanio out of the game.
And Escanio definitely towers over a lot of the rest of these girls, so if you're able to get those rebounds now with a little bit more evenly matched size-wise, that's whenever you're going to be able to kind of cut into this lead.
And foul called as Dayton, I gotta say, she made a good case there at the end, but her arm dropped over and almost kind of clotheslined Orand, a very light clothesline, but still. Orand drawing the contact, able to head to the line, and that one just spins out.
Looks like back into the game will be Escanio. So very short-lived break for her.
Dayton will check out in place as Orand unable to collect one there. Escanio does get the rebound off the missed free throw. Davis off the glass and in for 2. Jakayla Davis having a bit more lucrative of a quarter this time, as Orand will draw the foul, and
looks like that foul will go on number 21, Yagmore. So her third foul, and that is the third Panther with 3 fouls already in this game.
Both Davis sisters, as well as Danny Yagmore, at 3 fouls apiece as Trojans tries for 2. Keller with the rebound. and put back. Gets it to go. Keller up to 8 points now on the contest. Janessa Davis looking inside, kicks around. Gilmore for the three. That's a good shot there from Mariella Gilmore. Oran trying to work it inside. It's stripped away, and now the bolt down the floor as Jakayla Davis gets another 2 to go. Sisney goes to the glass, can't get it to go. It's poked out by Gilmore. Stays with the Trojans, 1:15 to go here in the third. Inbound, Keller picks it up and gets it to fall. Back to a 10-point game. As Keller starts to come alive at that post position. Munkin with the takeaway. Gets fouled and one. Macy Munkin making a difference in this game. Gilmore collects her first foul. Munkin cannot get the free throw to go. And it is collected by Caitlin Schiffelbein, who enters the game for the first time today. Jakayla Davis off the front of the rim, won't go. Munkin now down the floor. As that one is a block foul. This one going against Danny Yagmore, which will be her fourth. Munkin makes the first.
So one of the faces that we don't see too often at this varsity level, Macy Munkin, really making an impact in this third quarter and giving this Trojan team a little bit more hope going into the fourth.
And they will check out Schiffelbein for Gilmore instead. Yagmore remains in the game as that one spins out of the rim. Ascanio got the rebound. Now Jakayla Davis down the floor in a 7-point game. Gilmore over to Yagmore. Yagmore back to Gilmore as they continue to work this near side. 23 seconds, 18 on the shot clock. Gilmore dribbles around. This one batted. Great bat from Oran to try and force Davis inside, and it's off the front of the rim. Rebounded by Keller. Oran now down the floor, finds a driving lane, kicks out. Mooneyham for the triple. Can't get it to go. It's back out to Oran. 2 seconds as Mooneyham's got to put up the shot, but does not get it off in time. Third quarter ends. And we will head into the final 8 minutes. A 7-point game as Girard starts to warm up here at the end of the third. We'll take a break. We'll be right back for the last quarter of this girls' game.
Since 1918, GN Bank has been the heart of our community. Big enough to meet all your banking needs, but small enough to offer that personal touch you deserve. From agricultural loans to home mortgages, GN Bank has the expertise, products, and service to help you thrive. With a pledge to treat others ethically, be adaptable, focus on customers, and invest in the communities they serve, GN Bank is committed to your success. The best place to bank and borrow, GN Bank, where community banking truly comes first. Equal housing lender, member FDIC.
I was raised in a small town, and there was a lot of people who took time to invest in me. And so when we decided to open up our offices, we want to make sure that we're pouring back into the community that's giving to us. We care. We want to be involved. We want to have a passion for what you have a passion for. We want to be able to give back. And that's the foundation. That's why we're more than just insurance.
And we're back. Osborne checks in place of Yagmore for the Panthers. Sisney comes back in as well. As Munkin, I believe, may have kept a quarter on reserve there in the JV game, because she is here in the fourth and forces a turnover with a tipped pass.
And I mean, as of recently, Macy Munkin has been, you can say, the difference maker for this girls team. She's really stepped up and led this team to crawl back into this game.
And I'll tell you what, these Trojans are loving it too. They're getting fired up because of it. Getting to see a player that really doesn't have a lot of varsity experience starting to excel here in a big-time game. And we've got a foul called, this time block. It looked like neither ref really knew exactly what the call was there for a second and just kind of decided on the block.
Coach Urlacher was pretty fired up because of it.
Mooneyham was accredited with the foul. Osborne unable to collect the three. Jump ball on the floor. Seven-point game still. 7 to go here in the fourth. Black. Kick it over to Keller. Keller now gives it back to Sisney. As Sisney looks to drive, Black, long range two, gets it to fall. 33-38 as Black gets her second bucket of the night. Davis to Osborne. Osborne trying to work it inside. As this one is poked out. Gilmore lost it. It was off the hands of the Trojans. As Oran comes in for Mooneyham. Big defensive stop here if they are able to get it. Oran playing up on Ascanio at the point as this one's loose again and out of bounds on the Panthers.
And there's that turnover that we were looking for.
Yagmore will check in place of Gilmore. Now Girard with a chance to bring it to one possession here in the fourth. Sisney. Back to Oran. Oran looking to drive. And a foul called as she will be shooting two. This goes against Jakayla Davis. Her fourth. And that is a big foul, Caleb. Oran unable to connect on the first. 0 for 3 on the night from the stripe. As the second rattles out. Two close calls there. Unable to get either to fall. And now Osborne over the top to Ascanio. Guarded by Keller and it's blocked. Great defense from Kennedy Keller. Down the floor for Oran. Sisney now looking to get inside. Back out to Oran. Oran will not get the shot off as they will call a lane violation on Briley Black. Right at the time that Oran was looking to pull the trigger. Very unfortunate timing.
Into the game will be Callie Trezona for Briley Black. So just bringing a little bit more of that height to the court.
Jakayla Davis for three, can't connect. Osborne gets the rebound, back to Jakayla. Back out, Kara Osborne for three, can't get that one. As Sisney was able to grab it, and a foul called on Bella Ascanio. Ascanio with her first foul. Osborne checks out for Gilmore. And now the inbound to Keller, as she will take it down the floor in a 5-point contest. 5:20 to go. Keller puts up a long 2, and that won't go. And now Macy Munkin called for a block, as I think she just kind of got mixed up there.
Fouls on number 5, Macy Munkin, her second, team second.
Second foul on Munkin. It's now down the floor with Gilmore. Now Yagmore trying to work it to the near side. Davis guarded closely by Orand. Over to Janessa Davis for 3, and she gets it. Janessa Davis with her first bucket of the night. A 3 from the far side wing. And Orand was trying to tell the official, I think she was trying to call a timeout there.
Looks like Colgan was trying to get a timeout, and Coach Herlocker was, it's like Carson had already advanced the ball, and so I think that's what Coach Herlocker was trying to make his case over. Just once you get the ball in, and that transition period, I don't believe that the Panthers were allowed to take that timeout.
I don't know, because also I saw Orand trying to, making the gesture saying I was trying to call a timeout. I don't know what the situation necessarily was. But with that, it will be Girard ball. Munkin on the inbound here. Inbound to Orand. Now Keller will take it across midcourt. Keller looking to drive inside. Hands off Trojans. Off the glass, can't get it to go. Keller with the answer. Put back for Kennedy Keller. Able to collect another 2. Now Janessa Davis looks to work it inside. Back out to Jacayla. Jacayla Davis now driving, no dice. Munkin gets the rebound, now pushing the pace down the floor and unable to get the rebound. And we've got a foul called right off the rebound on Carson Orand.
That will be Carson's second.
Second foul for Orand, 6-point game here as Gilmore takes it across midcourt to Yagmore. Now Jacayla Davis, guarded closely by Macy Munkin. Works it to Escanio, back out to Gilmore for the 3, and she gets it to go. Gilmore with 4 trays on the night. Sisney gives off to Trojans, back out Sisney, driving, puts up a 2, no good. And fighting for it as Keller is able to get her hands on it. And jump ball. Gilmore. Yagmore back to Gilmore. As the full court press ensues from Girard. Jacayla Davis steps inside, tries for 2, can't go. Rebound Trojans as she steps out of the paint. Now we'll give back to Orand to take down the floor. Sisney. Back to Orand. 9-point game. Orand pops up a 3. This one swirls out. Rebound Escanio. Jacayla Davis now down the floor. 3 minutes left in this contest. A lot has happened in the last 2.5. Still plenty of time here for both of these teams to make something happen. Janessa Davis Working it back to the outside, now to Kayla at the logo. Gilmore finds herself at the top of the key. Back to Jacayla, 7 on the shot clock. Yagmore to Gilmore. Gilmore over to Davis for 2, and she finds it. Orand, Sisney working the perimeter. Sisney fakes the 3, back to Orand. Orand cross court to Munkin, who looks to drive, and I think she was trying to pass it to Keller too. This one's out of bounds, will stay with Girard.
So like you're saying, time still left in this game, 2 minutes, down by 10. I think the biggest thing if you're Girard, you can't let the Colgan Panthers score anymore, and you got to get your scoring going right about now.
Scheffelbein checks in for Ascanio. Sisney gets the inbound, looking to drive, puts one off the glass, won't go, and now foul called. As that one, I believe, will go against Kennedy Keller. That is the 4th team foul. As Munkin will check out for Mooneyham. Now down the floor with Janessa Davis. Gilmore now over to Jacayla. Jacayla over to Gilmore as they milk this clock here on offense. Back out to Jacayla, and now Bella Ascanio called for a lane violation. That is one thing Colgan cannot afford. Premature turnover. Inbounded to Keller. Now over to Orand, down the floor, as Orand will catch some contact and lose the ball. Davis kicks out to Davis for 3, and she gets it to go. The second triple from Janessa Davis starts to wind down here. Orand unable to get the 2 to go. Down the floor for Colgan.
That triple might have just done it for this Lady Trojan team.
Panthers staring down an undefeated district season, or regular season, here in 2026. So they will continue to milk this clock. 3 from Jacayla Davis won't go. Mooneyham collects it. Down across midcourt, here to Orand. Keller will put up a 3. Can't go. Yagmore was trying to collect it, and now they continue the full court press here, down 14. 26 seconds. Inbound to Jacayla Davis. She bolts across the floor. Ascanio drops in a 2, and that's, if it wasn't already, will be the nail in the coffin. As Sisney, Keller, and Orand on senior night. The Trojans unable to get it done on the girls' side. Long 2 from Mooneyham at the buzzer, and that will be it. 51-35. A very hard-fought game here for the Trojans, but not able to pull off the victory for the first game of the night. We will send it to a quick break here before the post-game show, as we've got the boys game up next, as well as a post-game coaches interview with Coach Urlacher of the Trojans, so stay tuned for all of that. We'll be right back after this.
Community National Bank and Trust has been serving the area for more than 30 years with a strong commitment to the highest quality leadership and banking services. Missing that human touch with your bank? Come talk to a real person at Community National Bank and Trust. We're your local bank that's small enough to know you, yet big enough to offer the best products. Community National Bank and Trust. Federally insured. Locally awesome. Member FDIC.
Whether you're trying to make the most of the next harvest, navigating a changing business landscape, or planning for the next chapter in your life, the professionals at Prime Accounting Solutions are here to help. With 10 locations, Prime Accounting offers convenient, friendly accounting and tax services at a fair price. Payroll, bookkeeping, business planning, personal tax filing, and more. And now Prime is the place to go for insurance. Trojan fans can find us at 408B North Grand in Pittsburgh or call 620-232-7305. To find a location near you, go to primeaccounting.net.
You've enjoyed life. Over the years, your community has become your passion, something you hope future generations get to experience, just as you have. That's why the Girard Area Community Foundation has worked hard to help fulfill charitable goals and inspire generosity, meeting the needs of the communities they serve. Creating a legacy fund with GACF ensures what you leave behind is an effective and lasting improvement in the community you love so dearly. Make plans to visit GirardAreaFoundation.com, preserving traditions for those who follow.
Producers Cooperative Association is the area leader in providing quality agricultural products, services, and markets. PCA has what you need to maximize your operation with a full-service agronomy department, grain origination, handling and storage, bulk fuels and lubricants, propane, a jam-packed farm store, and livestock feeds in bulk or bagged. PCA is proud to call Girard home and to support Trojan athletics. Stop by or see more online at pcacoop.com.
And we're back on the Eastside Cafe post-game show. Experience the best breakfast in town 6 days a week at 120 South Ozarks in Girard. Looking across at these stats post-game, it was a much more even spread for the Panthers this time around as opposed to the first time that these two teams met this season, which was primarily showing for Jakayla Davis. But this time, a little bit of a different scene here as Bella Escanio seems to be the leading scorer for for Colgan at 16. And for Girard, it looks like it'll be Kennedy Keller with 14, followed by Marley Sisney with 9, Macy Munkin with 5, Riley Black with 4, Orand with 3, and Callie Trezona with 2. Mooneyham, the only one coming up empty-handed tonight for the girls team, as we will honor our seniors here while I talk about this game. But very, very good, solid performance out of the Trojans, able to play really well defensively, get some good stops. Showed what they were capable of as we start to step into this postseason swing coming up this week. If you didn't already know, the girls' game will be played on Friday at 5:30. Boys set to play at 5:30 on Thursday, so catch that on Girard Sports Live as we will be here for that. But like I said, a great performance. They were able to draw some contact underneath. Yagmore and Jakayla Davis both at 4 fouls. Janessa Davis at 3, and then 3 other players for the Panthers collecting a foul apiece. As we wait for, there's our guy Caleb walking across the court right now. He left me here for the post-game show to go do this stinking senior night. Big shout out to him for helping out on the broadcast, as well as congratulations to him for being a senior. But like I was saying, great performance. Not much else to say. It was a little bit slow offensively, but I think this is a great representation of what this team is capable of going into the postseason swing, and especially if you're able to get back a couple of your seniors, get a couple of wins early on in the tournament. You've gotten those wins in this season to put yourself in good position, and now making it a little bit easier on this injured squad to let them recover, and once again hoping that Boatman and Kestra are both able to make it back for at least one more ride here for the Trojans. We will send it to...
I was going to say, I know I'm not Caleb Humble, but, without having those seniors, we've talked about it in I mean you and Caleb, have talked about it in past games. This Trojan team clicks so well. No matter if they're starters or bench players, they play together so well, and I thought they did really, really well tonight. They shut down Takayla Davis, like you said earlier. Only she wasn't their top scorer compared to last night. They had more fight, more drive. They were more hungry for this game compared to the last game they played.
Yeah, I really do think just a couple more buckets to fall. I mean, you had some good looks from the perimeter, some good looks on the interior as well. A couple more second chance opportunities too. I think it comes down to rebounding and just shooting percentage tonight. I think defensively this Trojans team should not be disappointed in their performance at all. They certainly excelled defensively, had a bunch of blocks on shots from the perimeter, from the inside as well. Trojana able to step up and square up against, one of the most dominant post players in the CNC right now, Bella Escanio. Whether that's a team effort or not, this Colgan team undefeated in the CNC, and Bella Escanio helping lead the way for that as well. So stepping up against one of the better post players in the CNC, able to collect a couple rebounds, get a couple blocks as well. We thank Sarah for coming on into the booth and giving her input on the halftime show, taking Caleb's spot. Caleb, you weren't quite missed, but we did give you a special shout out as you walked across the floor.
That's sweet.
Well, we will go ahead and take a quick break here as we await Coach Urlacher's arrival for the post-game coaches interview. We might see him. I would assume we're going to, so expect it here on Girard Sports Live, but also with all the festivities and everything, you never know. So we will go ahead and send it to a break. We'll be right back after this.
Today we're going to do an experiment to see just how fast Colgan's multi-gig internet is. In your email, you'll find 2 links. When I say go, click on the first link to download the 500 gigabyte test file. Go! Okay, now when I say go, click on the second link in your email to upload the file. Go! I guess it really does eclipse all other internet.
Release the Colgan. Monstrous multi-gig speeds for a low, no-nonsense price.
Every day, people are discovering that bigger isn't better, better is better. Big box stores continue to disappoint. You have spoken, and we have been listening. You want a great selection with dependable service at a competitive price. We understand, and that's what we bring to you every day. We know that we have to work hard to earn your business, and we will. Bigger isn't better, better is better at Heidrich's, Fort Scott, and Girard.
Here at Pittsburgh Interiors, we are proud to be family owned and operated, serving our community with quality style and service since 1999. Step into our showroom and explore furniture, flooring, window treatments, mattresses, and more. Whether you're designing a dream home, office, or simply just adding that finishing touch, our expert team is here to help. Discover why families and businesses have trusted us for over 25 years. Pittsburgh Interiors, where style meets comfort and family comes first.
Call's service is outstanding in their field, especially for those that are stuck, outstanding in their field. Call's carries a wide selection of farm, industrial, and heavy-duty tires, all from the best brands in the business. And they've got farm service trucks ready to go. Plus, Call's continues to be the place folks go for car and truck tires, repairs, oil changes, and so much more. If you're in the market for new tires in Southeast Kansas, make the right call to Call's Service, 620-724-4121. See more at callservicellc.com.
Back on the post-game show with Caleb Humble joining us now. Caleb, do you have an idea for player of the game for that girls' game? as I know it didn't quite pan out the way that we may have wanted it to, but there were certainly some highlights.
Yeah, looking at the scoring column mainly, and then definitely the defensive effort, I would probably give this one to Kennedy Keller, just really being able to be a menace on the defensive side of things, getting balls poked away, really making an impact. And then on the offensive side of things, she was the leading scorer with 12, followed by Marley Sisney with 9. And those were two of the bigger scores tonight. So I definitely think Kennedy had a big impact on this game, even though the Trojans fell short.
I would have to agree with you, and that player of the game is brought to you by Modern Remodeling, tonight's Girard Booster Club game day sponsor. Modern Remodeling is committed to delivering professional and dependable roofing, siding, gutter, and exterior restoration services across southeast Kansas. Inspections are always free with no obligation. Contact Brian Black today at 620-240-9334. Thanks again to Modern Remodeling, tonight's Booster Club game day sponsor. And with that, we will go ahead and send it to shot of the game. And trying to think of a big one. I feel like you got to give credit to Iran's 3 being the only from outside the arc this afternoon. Well, I guess Sisney had one as well. I don't know. What's your pick?
I was thinking about Macy Munkin, and she had free throws and then a layup there in the third that really gave the Trojans just a little bit of energy to crawl back into things and make this game competitive once again. And so I think for me, I'd probably give that shot of the game to Macy Munkin.
Well, I'll have to agree with you as we've got Coach Urlacher here for the post-game coaches interview. Coach, we welcome you on to the post-game here on Girard Sports Live. And I'm going to ask you first what your thoughts of the game were, as we kind of already broke it down from our perspective.
Well, you know, we're out statistically without our top 2 scorers. Come out like a ball of fire, you know, guns blazing just like I wanted to. Could not be more proud of this group of kids. You know, Colgan's got one of the best teams in the state. They got one of the best players in the state. And, you know, I thought we played defense well enough tonight to win that ball game. We just had some dry spells on offense that you can't have against a good team. But, you know, overall, you know, considering the showing when we were at Colgan, lots of guts, lots of, you know, and those young players stepping up, Riley Black and Macy Munkin that are just freshmen. Boy, they had some big eyes at different times during that game. And, you know, Augie Mooneyham and Callie Trezona, you know, all first-year players for me, and I thought they all played well, you know. And then obviously, you know, talking about the juniors that have played for me, Marley, Kennedy, and Carson all, you know, played so well, you know, and really at different times I think calmed us down and different things like that. We just got to be able to score, and I think if we would have had our other 2 people, we might have, but, you know, very, very proud of the effort. I think from a defensive standpoint as well as we could play.
Yeah, and I mean, that was basically exactly what we had said here. Just a great defensive performance from this group, being able to put up a flurry of blocks, steals, turning defense into offense. We talked about Macy Munkin being one of those young players, making 2 big-time baskets and some big swinging moments in the game. Can you talk about her growth on the varsity team as she starts to step more into that side of the ball?
So, you know, she has something that you can't teach, and that is speed. She is unbelievably fast. She has an unbelievably bright future in this program. We brought her because we do have so many veterans. We brought her along slow. She's, you know, we tried to max out her quarters every night and get her, you know, her full 6 quarters every night we could. You know, we brought her along and got her confidence in games that, you know, kind of out of hand and we're ahead in. You know, she's probably one of the main beneficiaries, though, from our 2 seniors. And, you know, we've had, I think, a different person out. You know, for about half of our games, we've had at least 1 starter out. So she's been a big beneficiary when we've had a couple players out to come in and step in and play. And she's been that rock for the JV all year long. And so, bright future ahead for Macy Monken.
Yeah, and then as well as once again, Marley Sisney and Kennedy Keller really stepping into that scoring leadership tonight. Like you said, with the missing players, Oran making a big time 3 as well there at the beginning. Just all your players playing so well. That synergy carrying on, even though you're missing 2 of your biggest, foundational pieces, for lack of a better term, of that squad, still looking like those girls have been playing with each other for years and years. Can you talk a little bit about what goes on behind the scenes for all those ladies to just look like they're all in sync?
Well, offensively at times I would have to say we maybe weren't in sync, but defensively, we take great pride in our defense at Girard. We run shell drill daily. I know the kids, complain about it. They complain about zigzag. They complain about all the fundamental defensive drills we do, but it adds up over time, and they get to where their bodies are just doing what they've drilled in practice, and especially though out front, Kennedy Keller and Carson Orand they're just special together. They are 2 players. They all know. The other one knows by the movements one of them's making, they know what the other one's going to do. And sometimes I don't know what they're going to do. And that's just how good they are. And, again, I think the leadership of those juniors made everybody else believe that we had an opportunity in this game. And we did have an opportunity in this game. And has to make you feel good. As our 2 seniors, senior night, it's heartbreaking for me that our seniors didn't get to play on senior night. But Colgan's going to graduate some pretty important players, and everybody that was on the court tonight gets to come back next year for us. So, got to say, very, very optimistic about the future of Girard basketball.
Well, looking forward to this postseason swing, Coach. Any thoughts as we transition into that here on Girard Sports Live?
Yeah, it's one and done, and they call it March Madness for a reason, because nobody wants their season to be over. And so you see, this team doesn't have many wins. It should be a really easy game to play. In postseason, I've never had an easy game. Now, at some point in the first or second quarter, maybe I've broken the spirit of the other team, and our defense has broken them down. But in general, these teams come to play. These teams come to win. And there's such an urgency, especially for seniors, to not play in their last basketball game. Yeah. So we got to come ready to play Friday night. It's a team that hasn't had a tremendous amount of success, and we are luckily, we were on an 8-game win streak before this game, and put ourselves in a perfect position in the bracket to be able to have this first round game at home, and God willing, a second round game at home. So we've set ourselves up where we need to be. I just hope we get our players back, and the players, each night we step out, if they play like they did tonight, good things are going to happen for the Girard Trojans.
Well, best of luck to you and your team, Coach, as we continue to cheer you on from Girard Sports Live. Thank you again for joining us on the postgame show.
Yeah, so proud of these girls tonight. Yes. So proud.
Yes, well, thank you again to Coach Urlacher for joining us. That was the postgame coach interview brought to you by Community National Bank and Trust, serving the area for 30 years. Stop in soon to pick up your very own Girard Trojan Ensign Issue mascot debit card. Community National Bank and Trust is a proud supporter of Girard schools. Learn more online at mybankcmb.com. They are also your pregame show sponsor here as we transition to the boys' game. Once again, want to thank Coach Urlacher and his words. I mean, so inspiring there from Coach Urlacher, talking about the ladies and how proud he is of them. But now for the boys' team, who have been on a bit of a different spell. They did collect their first couple wins in a while here as of recent, and now looking to keep that going as they've been in a lot of close games here recently, Caleb.
Yeah, and I think just close games are the biggest thing for this boys team, is that we'll see them be in a close game, and then you can see them win it one night, lose it one night. And so we've talked about before that just this team is able to win these games, and so if just a couple of things went a little bit different, this Trojan team could very easily only have maybe 5 or so losses on the season. And so I think the big thing for the boys is just making sure that you can get that edge and really just take it to that next level if you're looking to beat this Colgan team, who's going to give you a bit of a challenge tonight.
Yeah, and I would totally agree. This team is capable of, I mean, like you said, collecting 4 or 5, maybe even 6 wins there across the last, 8 or 9. I mean, most of them being at 1 possession or less at one point in the game, meaning that this team, you know, if they catch fire at the right time, they're going to be hard to stop. I mean, this is a team that's very capable of putting up a lot of points in a very short amount of time. We saw that at Frontenac, putting up 20 points in the first quarter. That's kind of what you would like to see more of, or at least close to, here tonight and carrying on the rest of the season for this boys team.
Yeah, and I think the biggest ways that you can really win this game are just limiting scoring and then making sure that you get those second chance opportunities that could then possibly lead to fast break points. And that's what are always just the easiest things that you can get in a basketball game, of just getting out and going and getting an easy layup to really give your team the edge. And the other thing that I would like to see from this boys team is getting out and scoring after breaks. And so that starts with here in the first quarter, where if you can get the game going and get the scoring column going right, that's where you're going to really pull ahead and then get a little bit of that confidence. And then that final thing is just, you cannot let that third quarter be the absolute just killer that it has been over the last couple of games, except for that last game that we saw on Friday against Baxter. But it seemed like every other game before that, we saw a lot of that third quarter really just killing the vibe and killing the mood for this team, that then led them to where they were not really able to score, and then they just had to play good defense to try to keep up. But good defense will never win you a game if you can't score at all. And so I think that's the big thing, is that after breaks, get going, get into the game, and make sure that you can start playing how this team normally plays after that halftime and right before we get started here.
Well, and I'll tell you that this team, the third quarter in that Baxter Springs game really wasn't anything crazy impressive. I mean, not to just kind of bash them a little bit, but I think I'd like to see a little bit more out of them. It certainly was a lot brighter than previous third quarter performances that we've seen. And defensively, they really managed to step up. You could tell that there was a lot of grit there in the third quarter, and they were trying to make it work. And there's a lot of emphasis around that. Talked about that with Coach Westcott after the game as well. I've talked about it with you, talking to players about it. It's been kind of the topic of conversation as of recently, being what is going on in the third quarter. So I'll be interested to see how they're able to respond coming out of that break against a very competitive team like Colgan. And, you know, and that's nothing against Baxter Springs, but obviously having a little bit less success this season, it's a different scenario. So for Girard, I think you hit the nail on the head. The keys to the game: come out of breaks and come out firing and be ready to put up some points.
Yeah, and last game, this boys team had lost to the Panthers 39-54 in a pretty tough loss, continuing the losing streak from that Burlington tournament. And so a lot more experience for this team and a little bit different effect with the starters. And I know tonight our starters will look a little bit different with it being senior night, but definitely a different team than whenever this boys team played the Colgan Panthers for the first time. So looking to get that scoring going, and I think a lot of that scoring can come from that three-point range, and we've seen that recently where this boys team will start shooting from three early on, and they can grow themselves a decent lead just before this Colgan Panthers team can really know what hit them. And so I think tonight, if you can get some of those threes to fall, and if you can get easy looks down low, you shouldn't have any problem on the offensive side of things going up against the Panthers.
Well, with that, we will take it to starters as we've got them here. I'll go ahead and start it off with the Panthers, and we'll go over to your Girard Trojans. Starting off for Colgan, you have number 0, the senior, standing 6'1", Brock Riddell. Number 2, the 6'2", senior, Brady Crossland. Number 11, the 6'1", junior, Brady Bettiga. Number 24, the 6'2", sophomore, Gabe Brown. And number 55, the 6'3", senior, Jaden Brown. And with that, Caleb, why don't you take over Girard's starters?
And for your home team, it'll start off with number 1, a 5'11 junior, Perrin Stevens. Number 4, a 6'2 sophomore, Jackson Smith. Number 12, a 6'2 junior, Ben Colgan. Number 35, a 5'11 junior, Blake Brocobb. And rounding it out, your senior on senior night is number 33, a 6'3 senior, Adrian Newton.
Starting those seniors tonight as kind of expected for the Trojans. Last time these two faced off, it was a big cycle of players for the Panthers. They were able to work in probably upwards of 10 or even more players into that lineup, which was an advantage that they had going into the game with that roster size.
And definitely with this Trojan team, we only really see ever 7 or 8 substitutions, and so that's definitely an edge that this Colgan Panthers team has, is that you have more available players that are ready to go and have a little bit more rest than the Trojan boys.
Yeah, and you know, the Trojans do have a pretty deep roster in general. If they choose to dip into some of those younger guys, JV guys, you know, Sutton Gordon, we've seen him get out there. Bruning, we've seen him get a couple of reps on varsity as well. There are guys out there that are available for checking in if need be, but mostly, like you said, it's been 8 is about the size of this Girard squad, with the expectations coming off the bench are going to be Briar Schultz, Harrison Burke, and Briggs Buckingham, as they actually remove their warm-ups. They're ready to go.
Yeah, and I think that's how you got to be. This team needs to be ready to go to even consider being able to beat this Colgan team. You got to get going from the start, and you got to finish it until the end.
The opening tip-off is brought to you by Farmers Bank. Farmers Bank is proud to have helped with the growth and development of the communities we serve. Farmers Bank is looking forward to a brighter tomorrow with locations in Hepler, Walnut, St. Paul, and Girard. Tip-off into the hands of the Trojans. Jackson Smith will start it off on the far side wing. Flipping it over to Brocobb. Bit of a funky 3-2 here for the Panthers to open up on defense. Colgan. Find Brocobb on the near side wing. 10 seconds on the shot clock. Colgan looking inside to Newton, and he gets a free drop for 2. Newton opening up the scoring. Bettiga, near side wing, finds Brown, over to Brown. This Gabe Brown, now out to Jaden. Work it to Crossland, inside at the elbow. Gabe Brown for 3, short on that look. Gives it off to Riddell. This one's loose, out of bounds. Inbound for Colgan, inside of 7 to go here in the first, and Jaden Brown lights up the perimeter to start this game off.
So it looks like the Panthers will do a full court press, trying to give a little bit of pressure. That's what appears to work.
Now down the floor for Bettiga as he misses from 2. Smith. Now over to Stevens, who keeps it in. Smith looking to drive through the paint. Can't get it to fall. Riddell with the rebound. Down the floor to Brown. And back around, Bettiga finds Riddell. Crossland for three. Short on that look as well. Brocobb to take it down the floor. Still a 3-2 game here as Newton delivers to Smith. Brocobb over to Cullen. Inside looking for Stevens. And that one poked out by Riddell. Out of bounds on the Panthers. And now we've got a substitution for the Trojans. It will be Buckingham and Schultz stepping on for Brocobb and Newton. Inbound to Buckingham. Smith back out and around to Schultz. Buckingham to Stevens. Stevens delivers to Cullen, who's fouled on his way inside. 3 seconds to go on the shot clock, and that should reset it.
Foul on number 24, Gabe Brown, his first, team first.
Gabe Brown collects his first foul of the game. Schultz gets it in, and now around to Buckingham. Stevens finds Smith in the paint. Back around. Buckingham on the far side. Gives off to Cullen, 20 on the shot clock. Schultz. Buckingham swings it back around to Stevens. Still looking for that interior shot. Stevens trying to drive, gives off to Smith as he was guarded by three, and all that work pays off. Charge called on the other side. Buckingham wears it proudly. This one goes against Gabe Brown. That'll be his second.
And I mean, that is just a great part of Briggs' game. It's just that he's able to get those defensive stops, even though he may not be the tallest guy on the court, but he's still able to make a difference and get those stops down low whenever you need them.
Smith gets it across midcourt. Stevens to Schultz. Schultz looking inside. Can't get it off, so he delivers to Buckingham. Around to Smith. Buckingham guarded closely by Jaden Brown, who will rise up and can't get the two to go. Great defense from Briar Schultz. Being able to play that perfectly, no foul. Contesting it well, though, as Stevens with the hook. Nice spread across the board. Stevens, Newton, and Smith each with a two apiece. This one poked out. Smith nearly gets the takeaway. Brown working it inside, kicks out to Bettiga. Bettiga now will draw a foul on Perrin Stevens.
That'll be Perrin's first, team first, so definitely a clean game so far in the first quarter from the Trojans.
As Harrison Burke checks in for Perrin Stevens. Working it inside to Lomchek, the new face. Back out, Bettiga around to Crossland, and Brown for three. Gets it again. Down the floor with Smith. Schultz working it with Buckingham on the outside. Buckingham over to Schultz for the three. Rattles off the rim and out. Cullen gets the rebound, and his pass, I couldn't tell if he got it poked out or what, but flies out of bounds.
And with Ben, I think what you might have liked to see is just Ben going up with it. He had the space and he had the opportunity to get the bucket himself. And I get trying to make that extra pass, but it was right there for Colgan. You would have liked to see him go up with it and try to get those points.
They work it around. Jaden Brown, the lone scorer for this Colgan team, making up for an entire possession there with the double threes. And Brocobb now trying to draw the foul. Does not, but gets the bucket to fall regardless. Back up to a tie game, 8 apiece. Bettiga driving inside, foul called. And this will be free throws for Brady Bettiga.
That foul will go against Briggs Buckingham, his first, team second.
First one in for Bettiga. First player outside of Jaden Brown to score for this Colgan team. Knocks down both. Schultz, cross midcourt. Passes it inside. Cullen trying to find Burke on the corner. And it's off of his hands, out of bounds. Two-point game after the free throws from Bettiga. .202 to go. Brown pump fakes, kicks back out to Lomshek. Lomshek finds himself alone in the paint. Drops in a 2.
Trojans were able to maintain a lead throughout the majority of this first quarter, and so you can't let that pull away, and that's what we've talked about, is you got to keep the scoring consistent. You can't just let this Colgan Panther team continue to score while you fall behind.
Cullen kicks out, this time to Burke for the 3. Very close call there. Unable to connect though. Down the floor to Brown as it's poked out. Buckingham with a huge steal. And now a foul called on Jaden Brown. What a turnaround there for Briggs Buckingham. Going up against the tallest player on the floor as the shortest.
And you know, I was going to say, you don't see that too often where the shortest takes down the large. I mean, that's kind of like a David and Goliath story, just getting down low and getting the steal before he could even think about shooting.
So in for Colgan is number 12. That'll be Colton Simmons. And a big 3 from Briar Schultz. Now Colgan trying to work it back around, 1-point game. They give it off to Riddell. Riddell finds Lomshek for 3, off the back iron, no good. This one poked out by Schultz after the rebound from Schremer. Now Newton working inside and gets the 2 to go. Great bucket from Newton. .20 seconds on the clock. Bettiga dribbling it near midcourt. Don't get caught flat-footed here if you're the Trojans. He's probably going to look to drive, and that he is. Takes to the rim, won't go. Schremer with the rebound. That won't work either. 2 seconds to go, and Newton kicks it out. That will end the quarter 13-12. As we head into the second, Girard with a 1-point lead.
Community National Bank and Trust has been serving the area for more than 30 years with a strong commitment to the highest quality leadership and banking services. Missing that human touch with your bank? Come talk to a real person at Community National Bank and Trust. We're your local bank that's small enough to know you, yet big enough to offer the best products. Community National Bank and Trust, federally insured, locally awesome. Member FDIC.
From the phone call to the service call, Roto-Rooter is there with fast and reliable sewer and drain service. From repair and replacement to septic and grease trap pumping, Roto-Rooter is here for you. With video inspections, Roto-Rooter can identify the exact issue to get the repair done quickly and correctly. Complete sewer line repairs or replacements, Roto-Rooter has you covered. Serving Crawford, Bourbon, and Cherokee counties, Roto-Rooter, 620-231-5630.
And we're back. Colgan inbounds it. New face on the floor, number 45, is going to be, I believe, I know the name, Beltran, Jaden Beltran. As he gets the ball here, trying to work it on the interior. Back out to Gabe Brown, or Jaden Brown, sorry. And now the inside pass to Beltran, saved, but Burke is the one to pick it up. Usually it's the other way around. Burke with the out-of-bounds save as Cullen kicks out. Buckingham for three, off the glass and in. The bank is open for Briggs Buckingham.
Typically you see Briggs just swish them on in. You don't see many bank shots from him, but that one ended up working out.
And Beltran cannot get the two to go. The putback, no dice either. Buckingham with a big save, and now down the floor for Jackson Smith. His inside pass picked away by Joe Lomschek. Inside pass to Beltran, back out. Jaden Brown short on that three, rebounded by Cullen.
Good defense played by these boys, just making sure that you don't get any looks down low if you're Colgan, and making sure that the perimeter is closed off for these Panthers.
Down the floor, it's Cullen at the point, working it to Burke. Sets the screen, and now back around Stevens to Smith. 8 seconds on the shot clock. Smith puts up a three. Splash for Jackson Smith. And that calls for a timeout here from Colgan, as we will take one with them. Actually, a half timeout. We'll go ahead and keep it here. This break in the action is brought to you by the Southeast Kansas Player Health Alliance and Live Well Crawford County, reminding you to know your limits when gambling and know when the game is playing you. If you or someone you know has a gambling problem, call 1-800-GAMBLER or 1-800-426-2537 for free assistance. A big run here, 6-0 to open up the quarter. It was Buckingham first, now Jackson Smith tacking on an extra three, leading by 7.
And this is the type of play that we've seen from the Trojans recently that we didn't see in that first matchup between these two teams, where the boys kind of had a tough time getting buckets, but so far in this first half, it's kind of the opposite, where they are shooting from where they want and they're getting those opportunities to fall.
Yeah, and if you want to go even into that first quarter, it's been an 11-0 run, now 11-3. As Brown knocks down another three. Three-pointers being a majority of the points right now for Colgan. Those coming primarily from Jaden Brown. Kick out to Stevens. Pulls up for a long two, can't get it to go, and it's rebounded by Crossland. Picked up, transition, as Brown takes the reverse and gets it to go. Now 5 unanswered there from Jaden Brown, as a timeout here from the Trojans. Caleb, what'd you see on those two possessions that have been kind of the shakiness here in the second quarter?
I mean, all of it's starting from Brown, and so I think your biggest thing is if you're able to get him stopped, especially on those last 5 points. His three-pointer, he was kind of just left open, and then that two, he was running down the court pretty quick, getting back down looking for the easy basket on the other side of the court before anyone else could get down there. You can say it's cherry picking, just getting those buckets. And so if you're the Trojans, you need to make sure that you can keep an eye on where the Panthers are at all times and making sure that you can get them where you need to be, get in between them and the basket.
Smith takes it down the floor, guarded by Brown. Now works it around, Buckingham to Stevens. Stevens looking inside, delivers to Cullen. Euro step to the glass. Good 2 from Ben Cullen. Bettiga, or no, Crossland, excuse me. Handoff to Bettiga from Beltran. As Beltran tries to get inside, and he will be fouled. Girard crowd wanting a walk.
It's like that foul will be against Jackson Smith, his first, Girard's first. So far in this game, very clean matchup between both of these teams, with there only being about, I think maybe 5 or 6 fouls in total.
6 it looks like. 3 on each side. And a miss cue from the Panthers, goes out of bounds on that air ball. Smith now down the floor. Kicks out Brocob. Gives off to Buckingham, and now over to Cullen. Cullen looking inside. Brocob has to dribble out, now delivers back to Cullen on the inside. This one tipped away. And this one stolen. Ben Cullen with the pickpocket and drop in 2. Great awareness and good fight as well to try and get that ball back. But now a foul called, as Cullen will be charged with that.
And that'll be Ben's first, Trojan's second foul.
Brown's first free throw swirls out.
It's like number 10, Joseph Lomchek, will come back into the game.
As Brown gets the second of his 2 to fall. 5-point game here. Smith over to Brocob. Back around to Smith on the opposite. Cullen delivers the pass inside, a save from Smith as he was fumbling around with the ball. Now down the floor, Lomchek trying to work it inside to Bettiga. Reverse layup. 3-point game now as it stands. Brocob. Buckingham to Cullen. Buckingham. Hands off. Cullen drives to the paint. Can't get the first look to go. And Brown fires down the floor to Lomchek for 2. Once again, we talk about that ability to get down the floor quickly. Some heads-up awareness from Lomchek. Buckingham, Smith over to Cullen. Now back around, Smith. That ball tipped and blocked after the fact as well. And now Jackson Smith called for a foul here. No.
It's like they'll call that on Blake Brocob.
Foul on number 35, Blake Brocob, his first, team third. Subbing in for the Panthers, number 12.
Brocob gets credited with the foul. I thought it was going against Smith as he kind of came across the arms there, but Guess they saw something a little more from Brokob. Simmons. They get it inside to Schremer, back out Bettiga. Across and around to Lumshek. Crossland to Simmons.
8
Bettiga
seconds
now.
on the shot clock.
Crossland searching for a pass. Lumshek fires from 3. Can't get it to fall, and foul called.
Fouls on number 15, Briar Schultz, his first, team 4. To the line, shooting 2, number 4.
Briar Schultz will get his first. Bunch of firsts here. Only 2 players who have hit the floor that don't have a foul. Right now are Adrian Newton and Harrison Burke.
Everyone else just has 1 foul apiece, so more fouls from the Trojans, but evenly spread.
Schremer takes the lead with those 2 free throws. Now down the floor with Smith, and a foul called this time against Simmons.
For the Trojans, you would almost want them to, I mean, a type of offense that we've seen before and something that I think would work against this defense is what many of those rec league coaches, whenever we were younger, would call the Dorito offensive. It's a triangle shaped, making sure that you have 2 people you can always pass it to. And we've seen that work with multiple teams, and so you would wonder, will that work against more of this man defense?
Burke puts one off the glass, can't go. Rebound Schremer. Down the floor with Crossland as he tries to weave his way through the paint. Saved by Smith. Great heads up play from Smith and Schultz. Brokob now. They work it over. Burke has a driving lane and in for 2.
With that 2 from Harrison, now every single player that's checked into the game has scored for the Trojans. So evenly spread on the fouls and then evenly spread for the scoring column.
Out of bounds. Off the 3 ball from Jaden Brown.
Subbing in for the Panthers, number 0, Brock Riddell.
Brokob gets it in. Schultz back to Brokob. Burke, his pass tipped out by Crossland.
Looks like a substitution here will be Buckingham will check in and Brokob will take a seat.
And going for a little more shooting power here, as Buckingham probably has a bit of a higher 3-ball percentage from Brokob. Brokob no slouch either, though.
I mean, we've seen it from all of these guys except for a very select few that they can hit it from 3.
Buckingham tries off the back iron, won't go. Rebound Bettiga. 1-point game as he's gonna perch up next to midcourt. Wind this clock down just a little bit and look to drive again. And puts up a shot. And 1.
That will be Harrison's first. So Adrian Newton, the sole senior, the only player for the Trojans without a foul in this game.
Bettiga knocks down the 2 for the 3-point play. Now with 2.4 seconds. Smith will get it into Buckingham. Back to Smith, who chucks it up And too high there from Jackson Smith. That will be the end of the first half. 27-25, Colgan leads by 2 as we head into the lockers. We'll take a break. We'll be right back after this.
Since 1918, GN Bank has been the heart of our community. Big enough to meet all your banking needs, but small enough to offer that personal touch you deserve. From agricultural loans to home mortgages, GN Bank has the expertise, products, and service to help you thrive. With a pledge to treat others ethically, be adaptable, focus on customers, and invest in the communities they serve, GN Bank is committed to your success. The best place to bank and borrow, GN Bank, where community banking truly comes first. Equal housing lender, member FDIC.
You've heard go big or go home. At Big Iron Auctions, you can go big from home. With thousands of pieces of equipment, active auctions, bidding at your convenience, and an easy-to-use site, BigIronAuctions.com can help you grow big. Call Tyler Jackman at 620-404-8115 to see how Big Iron Auctions can help grow your operation. Bid now, list now at BigIronAuctions.com.
Welcome to Homestead of Girard, assisted and independent living right here in our hometown. At Homestead, seniors enjoy compassionate care in a community designed for comfort. Licensed professionals provide support with daily activities, dressing, bathing, and medication management. Residents enjoy home-cooked meals and the comfort of their own private apartment. Call 620-724-6760 to schedule your tour today. Homestead of Girard, senior living with compassion, comfort, and community.
At Fort Scott Community College, we understand that a scary part of figuring out your future isn't only answering the question, what should I do, but where do I belong? Maybe you belong here, preparing for a career in healthcare as part of Fort Scott Community College's nursing program. Or maybe you belong on stage as part of the Hounds band or theater department. I don't know where you've been or where you're headed, but I know we're saving a spot for you because you belong at Fort Scott Community College.
Hi, do you offer insurance bundling?
Enter authentication code to start transaction.
Where would I get the code?
Please enter code.
Okay. Sometimes humans are just more helpful.
Wrong.
Let's talk about bundling and see if there are other ways for you to save with a super check.
That sounds great.
Here, take a look.
Farm Bureau Financial Services. It's your future. Let's protect it.
Call Judd, Lori, Ginny, or Amber in Girard today.
And we're back on the halftime show presented by GN Bank, where they've been serving or providing customers with the highest quality financial services in a friendly and personal way. For over 100 years, personal, business, or agricultural needs, turn to GN Bank. Learn more at gn-bank.com. And as we take a look back at the first half, Canara Eye Care is here to see what you're looking at. Locations in Pittsburgh and Girard, here to help their valued customers. Learn more at canaraeyecare.com. Caleb, what do you got for this first half?
I think the biggest thing is just this Trojan team is doing good. This is definitely a lot closer of a game than we saw the first time that these two teams matched up, and as of right now, it's just wondering who's going to be able to pull away in the second half. And the biggest thing is this third quarter, and we say it almost every single game that you can't let up now, and especially only being down by 2 against this more competitive Colgan team, there's no reason that you can't really win this game and really make an impact in this third or fourth quarter. And last game, I believe it was Briar Schultz that we saw that really took over in the third. Correct me if I'm wrong, but I mean, just the biggest thing is you can't let that third quarter make an impact, and you can't let this Colgan team start to pull away and get those extra opportunities that we've seen them get before in this first half. And so I think that's the biggest thing, is if you can get rebounds, limit really the fast break opportunities that this Colgan team has had, where you see them run down the court and have just easy, wide open layups, and there's been about 6 or 8 points that have just come off of that. So if you're able to get those stops, I believe this team should be able to get this win.
Yeah, and right now, points-wise, Jaden Brown, the leading scorer on the game, sitting at 14 in the first half, followed by Brady Bettiga for the Panthers, who's at 7, and Joe Lomshek at 4. On the other side, the leading scorer right now is Jackson Smith with 5 for Girard. And then you have Cullen and Newton with 4 apiece, Buckingham Schultz with 3 apiece, and Brokaw, Burke, and Stevens with 2 apiece. Everybody getting a piece of the action, with Newton getting that opening 2. And there's been a lot of scoring opportunity for Girard that they've been able to take advantage of. A couple of missed ones here and there, but I mean, those are going to happen throughout the game. I like the way that this team's playing offensively and defensively. I think that there's no reason they shouldn't come out swinging and be able to take down the victory tonight.
And I mean, definitely a weird scoring night for the Trojans whenever you don't necessarily have a leading scorer, but then your 2 leading scorers are Adrian Newton and Ben Colgan, just 2 guys that you don't really see make an impact necessarily as a leading scorer, more of that defensive and rebounding impact. So just such a wide spread, where really in this third quarter, any of these guys could take action and grow this lead by who knows how much, if they're capable of it.
Well, those halftime stats are brought to you by B&B Excavating. The numbers don't lie, dirt is heavy, so trust the guys at B&B Excavating to move what needs moving, specializing in septic systems, waterline install, repair, driveways, rock hauling, and leveling. B&B Excavating. Call 620-724-2735. We'll be right back after this for the second half of action.
Thanks to your support, Kenora Eye Care has expanded. With double the space, they offer more exam rooms, larger optical selection, and extended hours to fit your schedule. And with the latest technology, they can quickly diagnose any eye-related issues. All patients are welcome at Kenora Eye Care, the clear choice for your family's vision.
A partner in your fields and in your success. That's what you get with Murphy Seed. Channel seedsman Matt Murphy knows your field and can recommend the elite seed products designed to perform in your area, maximizing the profitability of every acre. And now Matt's care for farmers goes beyond seed as an agent for the new 4-state farm and ranch. From the best inputs available to the protection you need, call Murphy Seed at 620-249-6419. Your partner at every stage. Matt Murphy at Murphy Seed. From the phone call to the service call, Roto-Rooter is there with fast and reliable sewer and drain service. From repair and replacement to septic and grease trap pumping, Roto-Rooter is here for you. With video inspections, Roto-Rooter can identify the exact issue to get the repair done quickly and correctly. Complete sewer line repairs or replacements, Roto-Rooter has you covered. Serving Crawford, Bourbon, and Cherokee counties, Roto-Rooter, 620-231-5630.
At Girard Medical Center, our physical and occupational therapy department is dedicated to helping you bounce back stronger. Whether you're recovering from an injury, surgery, or just want to move better every day. From student athletes to seniors, we provide personalized care and expert support right here at home. To learn more about our therapy department and our other services, visit GirardMedicalCenter.com, a proud supporter of the Girard Trojans and your hometown team for health and healing. Rooted in rural, focused on you.
Siebert back to pass. Lehman diving for the end zone, and they get the listing. Lehman passes off to Siebert on the far wing. Siebert the lob, and Lehman with the alley-oop dunk to close the deal. Lehman a hard hit ball to left field. Siebert is at the wall, and they close another one. Lehman Realty with another big-time win. Lehman Realty, proud to support the Girard Trojans.
Our whole vision of becoming the 4-state agency was because we want to be able to grow with our clients, whether they have a lake house in Oklahoma, whether they're starting a business and expanding into Arkansas. We want to make sure that they're taken care of, whether it's home, auto, financial services, or even life insurance. We want to walk through the stages of life with our clients. That's the biggest part. That's what makes us different.
And we are back on Girard Sports Live for the third quarter of action. Colgan has taken the floor, now waiting Girard's arrival. And here we go. Third quarter booting up. Smith on the inbound. We'll have to give it to Cullen. And now Smith takes the point. This one taken away. Crossland down the floor to Riddell. Got bounced out to the outside by Buckingham, and now foul called. This one goes against Brocob, I believe.
And that was a good job by Briggs Buckingham to get down there and get the ball poked away before the Panthers could get an easy fast break opportunity. That's kind of what we had talked about at half. If you're able to limit those fast break points, that's where you can really get some of those opportunities back for your other side of things on the offensive.
Bettigo, one of the leading scorers in tonight's game. Second in points at 8. Gets one of his shots to go, and that'll be it. 3-point game now. Smith working the outside over to Buckingham. Cullen now finds it near the paint, loses it. Buckingham picks it back up, and now we'll look to drive off the glass and in for Briggs Buckingham, his second bucket of tonight. Crossland, 18 on the shot clock. They finally start to move the offense. Now 13 as Crossland takes it back to midcourt. Bettigo with it, works it over, Brown. Bettiga's pass inside, batted away. Brocob with the steal. Euro steps inside and lays it off the rim, can't get it to go. Good move, good steal, just unable to get it to fall through the hoop. And now we've got a foul called.
Looks like that foul will go against Blake Brocob. That'll be his second of this second half, his third in total. And he will make up both team fouls.
I will say, I didn't think it was too physical there underneath. Oh, maybe he had his hands on the back, but I didn't think he was the cause of the drop there from Riddell. Could be wrong, though. I had an awkward angle, but Bettiga takes the three, short on that look. Rebound, Schultz. Down the floor for Buckingham. Gives it back, Smith, Schultz. Now Buckingham on the perimeter. Cullen, back out, Schultz trying to drive inside. Gives it off, Buckingham drives and off the glass and in. Buckingham working the paint. Very unlikely suspect, but a good answer there from Gabe Brown. Keeps the Colgan lead. Cullen hands off to Stevens. Stevens trying to work the paint. Kicks back out, now Cullen will drive. Kick out to Stevens. Fade away jumper, and that's good. Clean through the rim for Perrin Stevens. Bettiga down to Jaden Brown. He tries to go to work, or no, that's Gabe Brown, and he gets the bucket to fall. Both look so similar.
Same last name, similar appearance, just making it difficult on us.
Same hair, too. Schultz over to Stevens, finds Smith for the mid-range two. Can't connect. As now here's Jaden Brown. That ball tipped across the court. Riddell trying to work the paint. Blocked by Cullen and taken away. Ben Cullen down the floor, gives off to Briggs. Buckingham going to work underneath and catches some contact there, but unable to keep the offensive possession alive. So that one goes out of bounds. Harrison Burke checks in for Perrin Stevens. Newton in for Smith. Brown over to Crossland, inside to Brown. Here's Gabe Brown going to work in the post. Bettiga gets the rebound, can't get it. Now back the other direction. Burke gets it underneath. Buckingham was sitting wide open on an island there for Briggs.
And I mean, just an incredible screen from Adrian Newton to get Briggs so wide open down low to get the easy two.
And timeout called by Colgan. We will step aside. We'll be right back after this.
Producers Cooperative Association is the area leader in providing quality agricultural products, services, and markets. PCA has what you need to maximize your operation with a full-service agronomy department, grain origination, handling and storage, bulk fuels and lubricants, propane, a jam-packed farm store, and livestock feeds in bulk or bagged. PCA is proud to call Girard home and to support Trojan athletics. Stop by or see more online at pcacoop.com.
And we're back. Inbound from Jaden Brown for Colgan, gives off to Crossland. Now the pass inside, and he gets it to go. Jaden Brown once again tacking on points from the interior. Burke works it around, finds Cullen. No foul called, and finally,
there it is.
A whistle. I think they were gonna let the baseline judge call it, but that was
very delayed.
Yeah, I mean, but it felt pretty obvious that.
I mean, he was kind of on Ben's back. Yeah. But I mean, with that lay-in from Ben, I would just like to give credit to Newton. Adrian isn't the one scoring these buckets, but I've seen him set screens for both that bucket and the one previously from Briggs that really let the other two guys get open and get down low and get to work.
Now a full 2 points of separation here. As Colgan works it around, Lomchek to Bettiga. Bettiga now looking to punch in, and it's a loose ball. Picked up by Cullen. Cullen kicks it across to Burke, and now around to Schultz. Smith. Work it back up top. Here's Schultz for three, long look. Up for it is Burke. Dishes back out, Newton for the triple, splash down. Colgan working the perimeter themselves. Now this one stripped loose. Jackson Smith on the floor for it. And a jump ball called, as that will force the possession arrow out of Colgan. Lomshek, they work it around. Bettiga, Simmons. Back up, Lomshek from the point, and he cashes in on a three. Cohen now down the floor. Gives off and now around to Burke. Burke works it inside. Newton wide open, gets the two. Great response from Adrian Newton, who now hoists a couple of buckets himself. Lomshek looking to drive the baseline. Kicks out, Simmons, and around Schremer. He's wide open for the two. Great ball movement on both ends of the floor. Both teams just inching their way, trying to find the openings, blocked by Schremer. Bettiga speeding his way down the floor. Now Schremer will charge his way in. No way! Oh. So they will call that foul on Jackson Smith, actually, not even Harrison Berg.
I think we were expecting a charge for Harrison.
But I think there was maybe a little bit of handsiness there from Smith that drew the foul. Three ball goes up and in from Crossland. His first bucket of the night as Schultz gets the transition too. A
Both
quick
teams
answer.
Back and forth trading buckets.
A great third quarter performance here from Girard.
And I think we can say through tonight, the third quarter was not a problem for these Trojans.
14 seconds, about a second separation between shot and game clock as Jaden Brown looks to wheel his way inside of the paint, puts up a two and in. 1 point of separation as Smith fires from deep range and can't get it to go. We head into the fourth. 8 minutes to go. It's a 1 point separation. Colgan 44, Girard 43. We'll be right back.
Farmers Bank is a proud supporter of Girard schools. For generations, Farmers Bank has worked with local leaders, businesses, and residents to help shape the future of Southeast Kansas. Farmers Bank is proud to have helped with the growth and development of the communities we serve. As partners in business and friends in life, Farmers Bank is looking forward to a brighter tomorrow. Farmers Bank, with locations in Hepler, Walnut, St. Paul, and Girard. Equal housing lender, member FDIC.
It's a bird.
It's a plane.
It's Chicken Annie's Girard. When you're facing a chicken emergency, there's only one hero. Catering and carry out from Chicken Annie's Girard. When an onion ring craving is too much to bear, when the family's coming over and you weren't aware, it's Chicken Annie's Girard to the rescue. When there's 20, 30, 100 to feed, you need Chicken Annie's Girard indeed. A heroic value, superb flavor. When there's a chicken emergency, there's only one hero. Chicken Annie's Girard.
And we're back on Girard Sports Live. 8 minutes to play here in the fourth. It's a 1 point game. It's been back and forth action from both of these teams. Doesn't matter who's on the floor. They are hanging in there. Buckingham Up near midcourt, catches a screen. Now tries to work it down low, and that one's tapped away. Down the floor to Crossland. Transition to Beltran. Now around to Bettiga. Here's Brown. Back up top to Crossland. Back out. Brown from the corner, and he gets it. Schultz gives off. Smith over to Buckingham. Cullen now all the way across to the other corner for Brokob. A great answer from Blake Brokob.
And I mean, these two teams just going back and forth all night. I don't know what our largest lead is. I think it's been 3-4 maybe.
I mean, it's been a very action-packed night, and not to mention, I mean, both these teams, just, like you said, trading blows. This is like a boxing match right now, just one after another. Occasionally, one team, gets out ahead, gets a little bit of a lead going there, and then all of a sudden, it's right back into it. The other team gets right back to it, like we saw it right there. 4-point lead, a big-time three from Gabe Brown. Brokob answers with one of his own. I mean, this is exactly the kind of basketball that you want to see if you're either of these teams' fans or if you're just a basketball fan in general. This is a fun game. Crossland works it over. Brown to Brown. Now finds Bettiga underneath and one. That was the second foul called against Briar Schultz. Bettiga does not get the free throw. Now Cullen down to Schultz. Smith, they swing it around to Buckingham. Schultz with it. Transition to Cullen. Can't get the first try, but he's got the second. Crossland with it on the perimeter. Gives it off to Bettiga. Post side wing, inside to Gabe Brown. Off the glass and in for two. Smith, back to Schultz. Now up the court to Cullen. Smith finds Cullen. The pass inside won't go as Smith tries to strip it out from Gabe Brown. And now Jaden Brown can't get the two underneath. This one's poked out by Crossland after the rebound from Brokob. And Girard maintains possession.
Looks like Perrin Stevens will come in for Jackson Smith. He will take a seat. Excuse me, it was for Briar Schultz. So our normal starters on the court for the Trojans.
Smith finds Cullen at the post, fights through physicality, and gets the two. I think Cullen earning his points underneath. Doing a great job. Crossland looking to drive, lays it off the glass, no good. Smith down the floor, gives off to Stevens. Now the transition pass as Smith tries for two. Brokob with the board and in. Back to a Girard lead. Crossland at the logo. 4:45 to go here in the fourth. Bettiga working with Brown. Now Bettiga trying to drive against Cullen. Can't get it. Stevens now down the floor. Off the foot of Riddell. and out of bounds, as that will be a kickball violation. Resets the shot clock. 4:29 to go. Brown and Bettiga both check out for Brown and Simmons. Jaden Brown comes in. Gabe Brown leaves the floor. Colgan gives off Buckingham to Smith. Brocobb works it to Buckingham at the elbow. Kick out, Stevens. 20 seconds to go. On the shot clock, that is. Smith fighting for it. It's a jump ball that will stay with Girard.
I believe it will go the other way.
Oh, it's the other way, sorry.
So Colgan gets the ball back. About 4 minutes left in the game. I think for the Trojans, these two teams have been going back and forth, and so now you're the one with the 1 point lead. You just got to continue this back and forth action until you're the one on top whenever that buzzer sounds.
Lomshek in the corner. Crossland for the triple. Can't connect. Rebound Buckingham. Brocobb working the paint. Fights through physicality. This one's loose and will go to the Panthers. (52-51). Now the defensive stands are beginning. See how long both of these teams, who's going to crack first. Lomshek to Riddell. Lomshek works it into Bettiga. This one peeled out to Crossland. As Smith had a hand on it. This one loose. Great defense by Perrin Stevens to knock that ball loose just slightly, make it awkward, but no. Another interception. This time Bettiga takes it away. Lomshek works it to Crossland. Lomshek from the elbow. Short. Tapped out to Crossland as he will drive to the glass. No dice. Cullen slapped out of bounds by Lomshek, and it's headed to the Trojans.
So about a minute and a half scoring drought for both of these teams. Defense has definitely played a key factor in this fourth. For the Trojans, you would like to see just a little bit of score to apply some pressure for the Panthers.
So Brown, that's Gabe Brown, checks in for Joe Lomshek. Now down the floor for Buckingham. Brocobb works it to Cullen at the elbow. Cullen trying to push his way through the paint. No call there on the physicality. Stevens tries for two, nothing there either. And now Jaden Brown down the floor. Kicks out to Bettiga. Crossland. Taken away, Buckingham with the steal. Stevens now gives back to Buckingham. And timeout called by Coach Westcott and the Girard crew, 2:03 to go. And Caleb, I've got to say, it's coming down to this. A bucket here really helps you out if you're Girard, and this is a great timeout from Coach Westcott.
And I mean, a three will make it a two-possession game, but even if you just get a layup, if you get two, that's whenever this Colgan team starts to feel pressure. I mean, there's been now 2.5 minutes gone by without any scoring from either team. So with scoring struggling for the Panthers, if you're able to get something here, they're definitely going to feel a little bit of that pressure to even try to get a bucket to match you. And we've seen that all game where both teams have been able to match each other. It just it now determines who can match each other coming down to the wire here with about 2 minutes left in the game.
You put yourself up by a full possession, and all of a sudden things really start to turn in your favor and start to look like, you know, you're counting the minutes. Then it's clock. It's clock management from there on out. Playing defense, trying to tack on as much as you can, but also just keeping that lead. That's going to be key here for Girard.
So far, plenty of time left on the shot clock, 25 seconds. The Trojans have an opportunity to set up their offense and get something drawn in.
They'll get it into Cullen. Over to Stevens. And now loose ball here as Stevens delivers to Cullen. Around to Brokob for the three. Can't get it. Smith with the board. No dice on that try. And nothing there from Cullen either. Now down the floor with Crossland as Jaden Brown gets the call and gets the two. Down the floor with Buckingham. Cullen swings it to Stevens and now Brokob. Cullen at the point. Buckingham for the three. Yes!
He got it.
Big time three for the freshman. Bettiga. Brown over to Riddell. And now a timeout called by Colgan. Coach Heffern wants a second to talk to his guys and devise a plan here for retaliation. And once again, rightfully so. You've got to get a bucket here if you're the Panthers. If you're Girard, a stop here feels like everything.
And I think you got about a minute left in the game. Like you're saying, if you can get a stop, that's whenever the Panthers might have to start playing a little bit into the foul game, which they still have plenty of fouls to give. Is the only bad thing for the Trojans, with not a single foul being committed on the Panthers in this fourth quarter. So still time on the clock, still fouls to give, but like you're saying, a stop here can make the game feel a whole lot worse for Colgan.
Stop and a bucket, I would say, just about puts this game on ice. You know, I mean, you get 2 points, separate by 4 under a minute to go. You're feeling pretty good about your chances, but right now, got to get the stop first. Bettiga to Riddell, back to Bettiga as they work the perimeter. Brown steps up to a three. It's short. Bettiga with the board, takes to the rim, can't get it. Riddell is fouled. And now shooting two, Brock Riddell.
That'll be Jackson's third foul. Team second in this quarter, but these are massive free throws that may determine how this game ends.
Need both of them. And cannot get the first. You certainly need this one if you're Brock Riddell. And leaves it short. Brown with the rebound. Gets the putback though. A fortunate break there. As now 7 seconds separate shot and game clock here. Girard gonna drain this clock as much as possible. Take this one down into the single digits. Stevens finds Smith. Smith with 8 seconds. Brokob. Stevens finds the backdoor cut. Nothing there. As this one's taken away. Cullen with 6. He got it. Two. Ben Cullen coming in clutch. 4.8 seconds remaining. And not to discredit anybody, but Perrin Stevens making the play there. Takes away off the save from Gabe Brown.
I mean, what an effort.
Wow.
Keeping the ball in, getting the ball down low. A great place, great find by Ben. And like you said earlier, Ben has worked for every single bucket he has gotten tonight. Down low, playing tough offense.
And I'm going to give Ben even more credit here. No fouls called against Colgan tonight. certainly a couple of could have beens, as he has fought through a lot of physical paint work and just really worked his way to the rim. What an impressive showing from Ben Cullen. Right now sitting at 13 points, 1 free throw. Everything else coming from the floor for that man right there, number 12.
Now for the Trojans, the one thing you cannot afford is a 3. You can't let any Colgan Panther get past you in your defense. And if you're playing this pressure, this full court defense, you need to make sure that not a single Panther gets past you.
4.8 seconds. They're going for something with some depth, and now foul called. 3.8 seconds. Not bad from Jackson Smith,
I think that's a smart foul. You're wasting time. You have a foul to give.
And he tried to get the takeaway as well. I mean, I respect the effort there.
That is Jackson's 4th, so he'll have to be careful with only 4 seconds left in this game.
As we're winding this down, 3.8 seconds. More than likely, this is going to come down to a 3. And if you're the Trojans, you'd like that 3 to just never happen.
And I think for the Trojans, if you're able to keep a majority of this time that the Colgan Panthers don't get a inbound around the 3-point line or even further down closer to the rim, if you can get them to inbound it on your side of the court and make them waste a lot of that time on the clock to even get down the court, and if you can continue to play that tough defense, stopping them from even having a chance, that's whenever you're going to be able to get this win a whole lot easier and a whole lot safer than the Panthers getting a shot off.
Break the huddles here. Tension rising as we come down to this moment. We've talked about not much implication in this game except for pride. And both teams wanting this so badly, being rival schools. And now Coach Westcott gonna take a full timeout here to try and delay and draw something up. I think he wanted to see what they were gonna come out with. He's been watching film. He knows what their game plan is, and now will the Panthers switch it up?
And I mean, like you said, I think if you're the Trojans, you can't let a 3. I mean, that's common sense. That's the basic idea, that you need to make sure that you're playing good defense. And then you still have 1 foul left to give, but after that, that is it. So if you let the Panthers get in, let them waste a couple of seconds left on this clock, that's whenever you have a chance that you could foul and make them inbound it once again before giving them that chance at the line.
And I would say the smartest foul here is attempting to go for the ball on the inbound, trying to get that takeaway, because if you're able to get that, it's game over. You win. Even if that ball goes flying down the floor the opposite direction, you win that game if you're the Trojans. So I would say that would be the time that you would foul, unless they're just going to start back court here. And Stevens with a big takeaway. Game time. Trojans win. In a second half performance for the ages. Man, what a game by both of these teams, and what a win from the Trojans. Perrin Stevens making 2 big-time plays down the wire.
And I mean, this win is just such a feel-good win. This team has had so many close call losses that to finally get one where it's your team winning after being so close all game must feel incredible for these guys.
Yeah, I mean, like you said, so many times coming down the wire where, you know, you have 1-2 possession games and Girard unable to get it done. And now we see them right before the postseason, a necessary win in a close game like that, and they get it done. They finish the job, 2-point lead, not just by one, 2-point lead, and in a good fashion. Didn't even let up that three-pointer or even the two. They were going for a two-ball there with the size difference between Stevens and Brown. I mean, it was a good look, just a little bit underthrown. And Stevens, playing great defensive back, gets up and snags that out of the air.
I don't know what Perrin's vertical, I don't know what it is, but it is up there. I mean, I was not expecting him to get that high, but great job that he did, and a great job to get the stop to end the game.
Well, we will transition straight into the postgame show brought to you by Eastside Cafe. Experience the best breakfast in town 6 days a week at 120 South Ozark in Girard. Eastside Cafe, proud supporter of Trojan Athletics. And with that, looking across at our player of the game tonight, Caleb, there's a couple options to choose from. I'm interested to see. I'll stick with the shot of the game if you'll give me your player of the game.
Oh, the shot of the game's the easy one tonight.
You want the shot of the game?
I could do either. It's just there are so many guys tonight that I think. I mean, it's senior night. Adrian Newton had his best game of the season, really in that first half, and then coming into the third, just stepping up, getting a three, really playing where they needed him and just getting those points throughout the game to help this team push to that win. Ben had 11, and a lot of those were tough, gritty baskets.
I've got Colgan down for 13.
13? Yeah. I maybe might miscredit him. I mean, we'll call him 13, leading scorer then tonight. And then finally that third guy that I'd like to shout out is just Briggs Buckingham throughout the entire game, getting tough layups down inside, and then just threes that we always see from him that we come to expect, that have become such a crucial part of his game. So I would say one of those three guys. For me personally tonight, it's senior night. Adrian had his best game of the season. I'm going to give it to Adrian Newton.
I respect it. I mean, he kicked the game off with a nice two as well, driving into the paint, laying it off the glass, gets it to go, and then had some big-time buckets, like you said, a big-time three, two more doubles as well, and then totals out to 9 points, just short of that double-digit threshold. A phenomenal performance from Adrian Newton, and then the shot of the game, of course, I feel like goes to that Briggs Buckingham three there at the end.
Yeah, I have it circled on my paper. Just definitely the biggest shot probably of his young career so far.
Yeah. Well, that player of the game is brought to you by tonight's Girard Booster Club game day sponsor, Modern Remodeling. Committed to delivering professional and dependable roofing, siding, gutter, and exterior restoration services across southeast Kansas. Contact Brian Black today at 620-240-9334. Thanks again to Modern Remodeling, tonight's Girard Booster Club sponsor. And the shot of the game brought to you by Bradshaw Collision Repair. Bob Bradshaw offers refinishing, paintless dent repair, glass replacement, and more. Let Bradshaw Collision Repair get you back in the game. Call 620-724-7300. And as we await Coach Westcott's arrival, talk about this game just a little bit more. I mean, the implications, we talked about it before the end of halftime, how it was so important to this team to get the win down the wire against a competitive team like this, and what it means going into the postseason when you know you're going to be playing teams just as capable as Colgan and just as hungry for that victory as Colgan through this postseason. You know, Caleb, you said it best. You said, I think this is a need. It's a need of a win for this boys team.
Yeah, and I think for the boys team, just getting this win, getting right back in the scoring column. Now you have 2 games in a row with wins. Just keeping it rolling is going to be a big part for this boys team going up against, looking at it on Thursday, it will be the 13 seed Cherryville coming here at Girard, and it looks like the boys will be the 5 seed. So just a big game there, and so if you can have another game hopefully not as close as this one, but another game where you can get that win. Who knows how far this team can go in sub-state and have a similar run like how they had last season.
Well, we've got Coach Westcott here.
Senior up here on the podcast. That's a good senior night for you too.
Yeah.
So we will go ahead and transition to our post-game coaches interview. Coach Westcott, thanks for joining us here on the post-game show. Once again, congratulations on a great win. This was a hard-fought one. We've talked about throughout the season you guys being so close on a couple of occasions, then right here at the end of the regular season getting it done against a competitive team.
Oh, yeah, tough team. Tough team.
What does that mean going into the postseason?
I don't know. We got to turn around and do it again Thursday night. But I think it shows that we're capable.
Yeah.
That's the big thing, is it shows, hey, and we've known that. We haven't got it done on the floor at times, but kids got it done tonight. You got to give them a lot of credit. Fought hard, good hard-fought game both ways, just back and forth. And kids never quit tonight, kept battling. We got an offensive board there late, a couple, I think. And Ben, I think was Bennett hit the one there at the end?
Yeah.
Put us up.
Separator.
But it's one of those, we knew at the shot clock, you just never know. There's 7 seconds. They thought, man, let's milk this thing down and let's get a really good look. And I debated whether to call timeouts. Well, if call timeout, the last time they set their defense up and we turned it all over, I believe. So we just let it roll, and kids made a play.
Yeah.
So, and that's what it comes down to a lot of times, kids making plays. And our kids made one more play tonight, and it was crucial. Briggs hit a big three there. Gosh, well, we're down 2, I think, when he hit that three maybe. So that's a big one. But, gosh, we're talking right here at the end. You look back throughout the game, there's tons of those all the way throughout the game. So proud of the kids, kept battling. Our heads are in the right spot right now, but it's a new season starting tomorrow, and we got to come back and get level-headed and make sure we're ready to go, and make sure we come out with that kind of effort again Thursday.
Well, you talk about, going throughout the entire game. One of the players we mentioned here on the post-game show was Adrian Newton here on senior night, having one of his best performances, if not his best performance tonight. 9 points, had the opening 2 as well, just to really kickstart the offense. Can you talk about his style and his development as a player?
It's good. He's playing hard right now and getting after it. Did some good things, getting the ball inside, and he had a big 3 there late. He's capable of doing that. We just got to pick the right times to do it. So that was good to see. But, no, the kids are all doing some good things. And proud of them right now. It's a good senior night for him. But, we got to get back and get refocused now. I told myself, enjoy this one tonight, get some sleep, because we got to come back. We got one day to prepare now for Cherryville. This one's over, and we got to move on and get ready for the next one.
Yeah, and as, we boot up for that postseason, I know you've been talking to your players, telling them, it's new season, everybody's going to be hungry. Can you break down kind of what the locker room is like, knowing that you've got Cherryville up next, or how the guys are really feeling about this contest?
Well, I know how it better be. We better be tuned in and ready to go. Or if we don't come out and play well, anybody can beat anybody this time of year. So if you overlook somebody, you'll be putting uniforms up the next day. And we got to worry about ourselves, come out and play hard, be focused, make sure that we understand what's going on, and lock their guys down, and then whatever happens will happen. But we'll have to be tuned in and play well.
Yeah, well, Coach, once again, congratulations on the victory. We look forward to that contest against Cherryville, and good luck going forward.
Appreciate it, guys. Thank you.
Appreciate you. That was Coach Westcott on the post-game show for the post-game coaches interview, brought to you by Community National Bank and Trust, serving the area for 30 years. Stop in soon to pick up your very own Girard Trojan Instant Issue Mascot Debit Card. Community National Bank and Trust is a proud supporter of Girard Schools. Learn more online at mybankcmb.com. Caleb, any final comments here before we wrap up?
I would just say incredible senior night, incredible way to end this regular season, and let's go get them in the postseason.
Let's go get them indeed. From myself, Caleb, Sarah, and the rest of the Varsity Sports Live production crew, we say good night. Thanks for watching, and we hope to see you all next time.
Thanks for watching. From the gridiron to the hardcourt, the pitch to the mat, don't miss any of the action. We're there with live, local sports coverage at VarsitySportsLive.com.